I just wake up in the morning and I yell a lot, even though it's way too early. It's fun though. Wake up, wake up, wake up!
Hello, Uncle John. Hello, Uncle John. Uncle John is funny.
Wake up, wake up, wake up! So I had not planned on, initially when I first put that up, last week, I had not planned on reusing the intro with Caden and Haku, but it's just too good to not play again. So I promise that's going to be the last time, but I'm just telling you, that was just too good to not play again. In any case, good morning. Thank you for getting up way too early with Garage Gym Life. First thing I need you to tell me is, does my mic sound nice? You guys see I am in a different location today, and I'll tell you why I'm in a different location a little bit later on in the show. But nevertheless, this is still up way too early with Garage Gym Life. And on this show, we talk about fitness-related content from a home gym perspective and get your live reactions to the topics that matter to the home gym community. And we have a lot of fun along the way. I am John Greaves III. I am the co-founder of Garage Gym Life. If this is your first time checking out the show, welcome. Thanks for giving us a chance. And I promise you that you are in for a good time today. In the first hour, we're going to have news and other things. At 6:45, we'll have a brand new recliner of rage. I'm going to crash out and I'll explain to you why I'm mad this week. Then in the second hour, we're going to have Mark Lupica. Hope I said that correctly, but Mark Lupica, the managing director of Brute Force Australia. He's going to be joining the show to talk about their latest products, and let us know something that you might not know. I didn't know until I started researching the company, but he's going to talk about something that you might not know about functional trainers. And then in the third hour, we're going to have a friend of the show, Jason Benoit. He's going to be from Exponent Edge. He's going to be joining the show. He's going to talk about that ABX from Freak Athlete and how Freak Athlete approached him to make the ABX happen. Plus, he's got a ton of news about the latest products from Exponent Edge and his new brand, Muscle Mend. So now that you know what's going on, go ahead, hit that like button and hit subscribe for me so that we can grow the show. If you have already hit like, if you've already subscribed, do me a favor and become a channel member. If you like this show, you've already subscribed, you want to make the show successful, click the join button to support the channel, because each and every member who joins makes it possible for us to do what we do, helps us get out to do more things and create more interesting content for you on YouTube that's beyond what the average home gym content creator is going to make for you. So click that join button, support the channel, and we greatly appreciate all of your support. All right. So now that I've told you what's coming up, and I told you I need you to like and subscribe, let's go ahead and say hello to everybody in the live chat. I know they're frying me for being late, so let's go. Let's see here. First in the building looks like it was my guy Jared Martin. Came in at 4:19 a.m. So hold up a second. Let me tell you this. I'm in the central time zone, so I'm actually an hour behind. I feel like I'm living in the past, okay? I fully expected to see at least one dinosaur walk past me. But so this was 4:19 a.m. Eastern time, okay? And then let's see, my guy Carlos, CBS TCR himself, was up next at 4:52. He said, "Happy spooky cosplay day. Wake up, wake up, wake up." You know the anthem, man. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Let's see here. Big Trev, T-Dog19 says, "Let's get scary today." Hey, it's always spooky season. All right, that party can officially start because Eric Eccles has arrived with all of the industry secrets. He's got all the industry secrets in his pocket. We got Letha Cannon. Letha was on the show last week, and it was an awesome episode. Letha, I hope you got all the messages I sent you. I think I sent you the contact information for the website developer. If not, just shoot me a text and I will connect the two of you via text when the show is over. BJ from the Iron Clinic, what's up, my dude? He says, "Morning, y'all. Hope you're enjoying those wrist wraps. I am not in costume. I am dressed as a former United States Marine." And the end. Let's see here. And why was I late? So because I had planned on getting you guys a I knew once. So anytime I'm somewhere different, I get accused of being a hostage. Okay. And I'm like, no, I'm not a hostage. So I'm going to go ahead. I say, you know what, this time I'm going to get a video to show you guys where I am, because I also want to give a shout out to the to the people who are hosting me and talk about the event tomorrow. So I'll just do that real quick. So first of all, this is my current location. All right, so I'm in an Airbnb. It is available for rent. I'll get you guys the contact information if anybody wants it. But that's where I'm sitting right there. All right, I'll show you guys that again if you want to watch it again. So I'm in an Airbnb, and it is run by my guy David Huckabee and his wife, and Christy, and they are hosting their annual strongman competition, and we are once again back, or I am back to live stream the event. Naomi couldn't come; she wasn't feeling well, so I'm in their Airbnb. They graciously let me use the Airbnb, and it is really, really nice. I got, this is my entire setup from my house transplanted to here. Except I got it set up on their little kitchenette table. And yeah, it's, it is what it is. But this is it. It's really nice. And like I said, it's one thing I say about it is so peaceful here. So this is Arkansas, and I'm in Arkansas, and when I woke up this morning, I was like, this is so, like, I didn't hear anything. Not birds, not squirrels, not cars, not dogs barking. Definitely nobody cutting grass. I mean, granted, at this time of the morning, I wouldn't hear that back home either. But I'd actually would definitely hear dogs barking at this time of the morning. So it's just, that's the universe. That's the number one thing I can say about it. If you come here for vacation, it's almost like you're glamping, because it's so nice and quiet here. They have a lot of on their property. They've got their house, they've got this Airbnb, and then they've got their home gym in the back, and it is huge. I actually did a tour of it, and it's on the channel, but you guys can check out the gym tomorrow, because we'll be doing our live stream of the Outback Kitty Haven. This is a long name. It's the Outback Kitty Haven gym, right? Because they have a cat rescue, and this competition benefits the cat rescue. So it's the Outback Kitty Haven / Gym Invitational. Okay, so it's a strongman competition to benefit their cat rescue. They've rehomed, and they've spayed, neutered, and rehomed a number of feral cats, and the cats they can't rehome, they actually have here on their property, and they're giving them a better, a good place to live where they don't have to worry about, getting run over by cars or anything else like that. So it's a really good cause, and we just like them. They're good people, so we like coming out here and live streaming for them. So that is going to be tomorrow morning. So let's see here. Let's see what we got. Some more comments. First of all, Carlos, thank you for letting me know that the mic sounds good. All right, because although I do a test, I do my mic check. You never know when the gremlins are in your software, so that's good. So I'm in his time zone. We're closer to the same age now. No, we're not. I'm still from the future, so I'm still older. Nice try. All right, I'm still from an hour in the future. All right. Hey, we got a new member. Shout out to Dolan Hayward. 8:39 p.m. yesterday, he became a new member. Hey, shout out to you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support, Dolan. So I'll say this. Dolan is I believe he is with UPR Tech. They're the guys who make the Bench Pro. So I appreciate that support. If you guys haven't seen that video, that means you're not channel members, because it is available for channel members to watch right now. Channel membership is probably the cheapest of any membership out there. I want to say it's less than $2, and yeah, literally, it's less than $2 a month. So do me a favor, if you want to get access to all the stuff, videos like videos that aren't public yet, and some videos that'll never be public, they'll only be for channel members. Just go ahead and click that join button and become a channel member and support the channel. But I appreciate you, Dallin. Thanks for becoming a member. Let's see here. Then Eric said, I do have more secrets, but I promise not to tell yet. Hey, look, just how about this? Just tell us and we won't tell anybody else. How's that? All right. There's only 981 of us watching. Well, I guess 982 if you count me. So, hey, look, we won't tell anybody else. Okay. BJ said, I've been getting that bench back up slowly but surely after the pec tear. And I actually gave the wrist wraps a run for the first time 2 days ago. Good stuff, Joe. Man, I'm telling you, those wrist wraps are legit. I love them. I love how they give you just the right amount of flex on the bench press. And I even like them for overhead movements for like strongman because they give you a little bit of wrist flex. So if you put them on the correct way, they're outstanding. Now, if you're competing in strongman, you don't have to worry about the thumb loop thing. You just put your thumb through the thumb loop. If you compete in powerlifting, you just put them on upside down like I do. You don't have to worry about getting a red light because of your or getting red lighted because of your thumb being through the thumb loop. It's and they're the best wrist wraps I've ever. I actually ordered another pair because I got the shorter pair and I ordered the 36-inch pair. So I'm waiting. Those are on the way to my house now because I want to see how my bench is affected by having more wrap because that's going to make it even more stable. But yeah, I'm glad that you're liking them, man. Big Rob from Vintage Weights PGA says, good morning on the road. Hey, look, I'm traveling as well. I'm in Arkansas. Man who parks in gym. What's up, man? He said, hey, now it is that time when we have to let the public know that MWPIG5 saves 5% at Prime Fitness USA. Got to get the word out there. And I swore to myself, anytime I see because he supports me, I want to support him. It started out as a joke, to be honest with you, but I don't mind putting that link out there, letting you guys know about the promo code because honestly, he supports me. He's one of the people. This is something. Test. Let's see here. It looks like it said that my mic got unplugged. Test. Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. So, yeah, I saw that the mic cut off. Can you guys hear me now? Let's make sure that. All right, cool. Anyway, so you never know who's watching, and I happened to see a video that Jason did, and he mentioned my show, and he's like, he's really enjoying the show. And it's like, man, that's so cool because he had no way of knowing that I was going to see that. So ever since then, I've been a fan. I'm a fan of anybody who's a fan of me and what we do. So every little chance I get, every little step I take, I try to support him. And hey, so if you're going to shop from Prime Fitness, use MWPIG5. Save yourself some money and support our guy. All right. Now, let's see here. Looks like we've gone through everything. We know who's here. We know what's going to be coming on the show. So it's 6:15. It is time to dive into our first segment. And that's right, news and other things. Let's do it. All right. So first of all, first news item, I always start the news items off with what's going on with us. And normally I tell you all about, like product videos that are coming out, all this kind of stuff. But I'm going to just tell you right now, we're not doing that today. Instead, I'm going to tell you about something that may or may not be breaking news to y'all. But this is what I found at Buc-ee's. This is it's not something I was prepared for, but yeah, I wasn't ready for it. Let me go ahead and see if this thing here, pull this thing up here because I saw this at Buc-ee's and I was like, I'm not exactly sure that this is something that I'm interested. In fact, I know I'm not interested in it, but yeah, let's go. I'm at Buc-ee's and I know Redcon likes to do the pseudo military thing, but seriously, only somebody who's never actually been in the military is going to see something called an MRE protein shake and say, oh yeah, I got to try that. If you know, you know. Okay, so MRE protein shake. Look, I'm not here to, let me add this. Okay, I'm gonna This way y'all can see it on screen while I'm talking about it. Okay, so that's it right there. Whole food protein. It's lactose free. Okay, great. It may be a perfectly fine, delicious, tasty, and nutritious protein shake, but I can't get past the word MRE. Okay? Meal ready to eat. Because I have never had a good experience. Okay, Kurt, this is yet again where we're going to disagree. Because I agree with where you said, so Kurt says MRE is so good tasting. It's been around for a long time, dude. Redcon one isn't vet owned though. It's just good marketing. Okay, so I do not disagree with it being good tasting because I've never had it. I don't disagree with it being around for a long time because I know Redcon's been around for a minute. I remember when they started and I was like, really? I saw some of their branding. I was like, really? Okay. They appeal to a certain segment of the population. Okay. And them not being vet owned, I can see that. He said, just good marketing is the part where I disagree. And maybe I'm in the minority because, like so many other things, I don't necessarily have the same outlook as everybody else. Thank you. There we go. There you go, Rob. Does it come with a bottle of Tabasco? That's what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm just telling you, I have never, when I had actual MREs that I had to eat, had a good experience with an MRE unless I did some stuff to doctor said MRE. Okay. First of all, if you eat MREs for too long, you're going to get those unforgettable experiences in potentially you had to go out to the woods and dig a little cat hole and do your business. Or you may have got back to Garrison and that's where the experience happened. Maybe where you were on, maybe you're at the gas chamber or the rifle range and they had Porta Johns available and you had your unforgettable experience there in the Porta John. I'm just telling you, every MRE experience I've had has included that unforgettable experience. And also, they don't taste good. They're low budget. You got to like douse it in Tabasco. You got to put all kinds of stuff. There's a reason why allegedly anytime a Navy ship pulls in the port and they offload Marines, they got to hide the hot sauce from the galley and the child hall because the Marines are going to acquire said hot sauce to take with them because they know they're going to have to add hot sauce to every single MRE. Literally, spaghetti, pasta, well, it's technically not pasta, not spaghetti. It's some sort of random pasta. The cheeseburger, that was a horrifying experience. Tuna, what was the one? Ham slice. That's, you definitely hate yourself when you get ham slice. Even literally, you putting hot sauce on the veggie MRE. Okay, so when I see MRE, I don't get fond. Oh wow, I gotta try that. Immediately, I looked at it. I said, "Heck no! Put it back. Never touch anything. I didn't even want to touch it." Okay, I'm just gonna tell you that. Similarly, when I was in the Marine Corps and I'd like swing by the Army Navy store for whatever reason, or even now, and I see like the MREs, the surplus MREs they got on the shelf for people to come buy, I'm like, look, man, I'm just gonna tell you flat out, the apocalypse has to be like, we got to be well into the apocalypse for me to be like, all right, sure, let's eat MREs now. That comes after hunting for food. Okay, I'm just telling you, I'm going to the grocery stores. We getting all the canned food items. I'm not eating them. Nah, man. I'll eat Spam for years before I eat MREs. No, thank you. I'm just not good. I'm just not doing it. Carps Jim said it looks like a Temu Core Power Elite, and that's another thing. The branding on. I mean, they got few other bottles that were there, and yeah, they all look like Core Power. And Core Power, I tried it. That also gave me some unforgettable bathroom experiences. I ain't doing it. Kurt says new MREs don't have that anymore. RIP hot sauce. See, I'm gonna call my son and just ask him. All right, and be like, hey man, for real. My oldest son, like, hey man, for real. Would you drink something that called itself MRE? Nah. Now, chili mac was all right, but that's after you put the hot sauce in it. Okay, that's after you put the hot sauce and the other things in it. That's just all it is. Okay. Hey, Kevin. Okay, cool. Hey, and I'm sorry I interrupted you while Kevin was teaching, and I interrupted him. It's difficult because the time zone difference. And so I see, like, I said, oh, well, this is usually when he messages me. So I don't know when you're on the train, when you're like, I never know, man. So sorry if I interrupted you. But all right, so we can confirm Kevin is going to be on the show next week. And I'll tell you guys why at the end of the show. Carp said that's not hot child. No, exactly, Trevor. Nobody eats the veggie MRE. The only purpose of the veggie MRE is the fact that it's got all those extra snacks with it because they have to have a certain calorie count. And they hit the calorie count by putting all the extra snacks in it. So you get the extra snacks. If you get the veggie MRE, you throw the actual MRE away. And then you take the snacks out, though, and you use the snacks to trade for actual food. That's what you do. Letha said, guess I'm not running out to buy this for my gym fridge for my clients. No. I'm just going to tell you that Kurt has had it, and he said it's good. In fact, he said, so, hold on, let me pull that back up. Kurt said, let's count the zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 O's in so. He said it is so good tasting. So that's good enough for me. But I still ain't going to have it. But I'm saying if you want to buy it for your clients, you can tell them that Kurt said it was very good, and maybe they'll do it. I hope it works out for y'all. Just said the Redcon 1 MRE is better than everything's better than the government issued MRE. They gave us those to build our fighting spirit. I heard it said that the reason why the French troops can't fight is because their MREs taste too good. Kurt, I know you like it. He says a solid product. Haters gonna hate, ain'ts are gonna ain't. Hey, I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you that when I saw it, I was like, MRE, and immediately had a visceral reaction, like not interested. But then again, I'm also the guy that doesn't wear camo since I got out the Marine Corps. I don't like, the people who like walk around with camo on, and the people who like to wear like the they like to dress like a how like the contractors dress over when you're out on deployment. You see the contractor walk by and they're wearing stuff that looks paramilitary, but it's not. It's got to like not be associated with any specific country. Yeah. So the people who like buy that stuff and wear it to like Walmart or whatever, I don't do that either. Hey, look at it. Now we getting MRE recipes. Let's go. You never know what you're gonna get on this show. Rob said I was a cocoa powder chef. Pound cake with some cocoa powder, water icing. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah. He said, that's what I imagine this tastes like. Now, look, you can make you a nice little mug cake with that very recipe that you just threw out there. So I'm saying it might taste good. I'm just telling you, MRE. And Trevor said, tell me you in the military without telling me you're in the military. Basically, you got strong opinions about MREs. For real, dude. For real. Okay, so Kurt says also it's not a protein shake, it's a meal replacement. The macros are different, so they market it as such. Well, the reason why I call it a protein shake is because of the giant word protein underneath 40 grams and the whole food protein right underneath MRE. Like that's like the thing, but I can, I'm not gonna argue about that with you. I believe it. Let's see here. Is it 800 calories? Carb said, is it 800 calories over 250 calories? I don't have any idea. I picked it up, made my video, and walked out of Buc-ee's. I don't know. I tell you what, I'll be hitting Buc-ee's on the way back home. I will investigate this and get back to you, Carb. Dennis Solis, what's up, man? What up, my man? Dennis Solis, this is one of my favorite dudes, man. Hey, Dennis, you were in the Navy. What is your feeling about MREs? Do you love MREs? Do you hate MREs? We're just doing an informal, impromptu, unplanned poll right now with all the former military members. Home Gym Physique said, first of all, the British have arrived. What up? Okay, he said, I'm confused. Why do people buy from Redcon given the company's history? So I cannot answer that question because I do not buy things from Redcon. I think we just covered that in this segment. But I invite anybody from the chat who wants to answer that, because so when you're in my position, the instinct when you get a question like that is to answer the question. But I'm not going to do that because that's kind of like when somebody asks an actor whose only skill set is acting what they think about current finance public policy. And the actor knows they got no idea, but they feel like, oh, I got to say something. So they come up with some answer that's very uneducated because they don't know anything about it. So I'm not going to do that because I hate it when people do that, when they answer questions that they don't have enough information about. So I'm just going to say people who are fans of Redcon, and I'm not knocking people who are fans of Redcon. I'm just saying I'd rather one of y'all answer it if you're watching and answer it in the chat instead of me. Because what I don't do is talk about stuff I don't know about. That was a very long non-answer, but that's all the best I can do for you. So Carp said the reason why I say is that actual meal replacements are supposed to be 250 calories or higher. Kurt says the giant 40 grams protein is for the Starbucks loving Karens that don't read the label. And Carp says Starbucks now is doing protein milk for Karens. Isn't milk inherently protein? Moving on. Carlos said, but aren't protein shakes technically meal replacements? I mean, to be completely fair, Twizzler is technically a meal replacement if you eat it instead of eating food. Dennis said he never tasted an MRE. You are, hold on now. Dennis, did you never leave base? What kind of, well, hold up. If you were on the ship, I guess, yeah, because you got food there. They cook for you. Okay, that makes sense. And I don't think that unfortunately is the right word in that sentence. Fortunately is what you mean. Okay. But I'll tell you what, you and Carlos head on down to the local Army Navy store, grab you an MRE and eat it while you sit next to the bathroom. Let's see here. Dennis wants to know where I am today. Okay, so I'll show you again. Dennis wants to know where I am today. And Carlos, I am not being held hostage. I am here in Melbourne, Arkansas. Ironically, it's called Melbourne because we're going to be live streaming the Outback Kitty Haven / gym, Outback Gym. Okay. Invitational. It's an invite-only strongman competition, United States Strongman show, and it benefits the Outback Kitty Haven. We're doing that tomorrow morning, and I've actually got the redirect for this live stream redirects to that live stream, so you guys can check it out tomorrow. We'll have a good time. Might be some world records broken. Because Crystal Hayes is going to be in the building. I saw her training a little bit, just doing some stuff yesterday. So I don't know if she's competing tomorrow or not, but if she is, she's probably gonna break a world record. She's very, very a deadlift world record. But anyway, that's where I am. And if you want to check out the venue, the actual room I'm in, let me get this Redcon thing off here. This is the room I'm in. So this is my room. Nice little Airbnb, very comfortable. You see the cats. And that's where I'm sitting right now. All right, so that's where I am. All right, Carlos said, I've never had a Redcon 1 MRE. Yeah. So Carp is saying protein shakes are usually just protein, like 100 to 150 calories, low carb and fat. And meal replacements should have balanced macros of protein, carbs, and fats. Yes, I got it. I mean, that's good. I'm not kind of like minimizing what you're saying. I'm just saying I'm not willing to argue over that. Whether it's a protein shake or a meal replacement, they're marketing it as a protein shake, and it's whatever. It's just like people who say, "Yeah, I never eat breakfast." I'm like, that's not possible, because the first meal that you eat when you wake after you're awake is breakfast, because breakfast means breaking your fast. So the first, I don't care if it's 11 p.m. I don't care if it's 11:59. If that's the first time you've eaten that day, it's breakfast. So yeah, that's the difference between somebody who I'm an English major, so I'm into like what words mean, not necessarily on the science side of things. So yeah. Anyway, who's watching Physical Asia? I've seen it. It's actually a really interesting show. I like how they do the drama of it. That's pretty cool. All right. That was all based upon me just going to Buc-ee's and saying I don't want that protein. Let's go look at the let's see what is going on let's see here in the community post section. Oh shoot. We definitely got to pull this up. We go into that. So what that means is it's time for the first screen share of the day. That's right. All right, first screen share of the day. Let's go ahead and get this up here. Share screen, because I want y'all to see this. Look at your guy, Trevor. Trevor has gotten his shaker bottle. Trevor got a shaker bottle. Give it up for Trevor having a shaker bottle. All right. Remember, we had an entire episode almost devoted to Trevor, or a segment of an episode devoted to Trevor getting a shaker bottle. And so I feel like, we've affected change, all right, in the world, because Trevor's got a actual shaker bottle, which is almost identical to my shaker bottle. Okay. Only difference is I got mine engraved after the fact with the Garage Gym Life logo. But yeah, that's, as you can see, that is my go-to shaker bottle. So I take it with me on the road. If I need a shaker bottle for something randomly, hey, I need a shaker bottle. That the ice shaker is the one that I automatically reach for. So congrats, Trevor. Glad it showed up. Equipment exercise, and that sugar bottle segment was intense. I learned a lot that day. Hey, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about y'all. I never anticipated the shaker bottle segment was going to be that impactful, but it definitely was, man. Yeah. So yeah. And Trevor said, I grab it when I need Gatorade in the car. I'm telling you, to be honest, I put non-fitness drinks in here. So if I'm just drinking like some sweet tea, I pour it in here if I want to keep it cold. So I love this thing. All right, let's see. Next item. That was the only post in the community post section. So now I have a topic. All right, I want to try something with you guys where we do question of the day. And I want you guys to just throw your comments in here. Just let me know if this is something that, like, basically give me your reaction to this question. All right. And that can include, I have no opinion. Put that in there. No opinion either way. That's a valid answer. Okay. So here's my question. Does our community lose interest in content creators once they become too successful? The reason I say that is because, shout out to my guy, Bobby Hunt. But if you are a content creator starting on YouTube in the home gym space, Bobby Hunt will find you and he will comment on your video. Okay. And sometimes his comments are hilarious. In fact, I will tell you that other content creators and I have shared screenshots of comments from Bobby Hunt. Like, we'll text it to each other, but like, look what Bobby said, right? But once you get past a certain number of subscribers, and I'm still using Bobby, not to pick on Bobby, but just as an example. Once you get past a certain number of subscribers, Bobby stops commenting on your videos. I don't know if he still watches, but he stops commenting. Okay. And there's a similar thing. You see, when you are a smaller creator, you get a lot of people commenting who don't continue to comment when your channel grows. I've talked to multiple people who said they've noticed the same thing. All right. And I guess it varies depending on where that threshold is, but I'm going to say by the time you get to 10,000 subscribers, you're not going to see a lot of comments from Bobby Hunt and from other people like that. So it just interested me. Like, is there a segment of the home gym content viewing audience that just prefers to watch content creators who are small? You know what I'm saying? Because, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I look at it like, you know how like there's or maybe you don't, there's a segment of the football fan audience that only likes watching high school football. Doesn't matter if they attended that high school or if they just recently graduated from that high school. You'll go to some high school games and you'll see old people there who never attended that high school, and they're there because they prefer to watch football. They love watching football, but they prefer watching football with high school players because they're like, these guys aren't out there playing for a paycheck. You don't see a bunch of divas, you know, because people have the perception that wide receivers, for example, are divas. The pro athletes in general are divas. And so they're like, I only want to watch high school football. Then you got another segment that only likes to watch college football. And then you got people like me who used to only watch NFL, because that's the kind of football I was introduced to when I came to the United States. And then I developed an appreciation for college football. But at the time I was like, man, I don't want to watch amateurs figure it out. I want to watch professionals who know what they're doing. Okay. But anyway, so I think the home gym space is kind of like that. There's some people who like watching smaller creators because they have maybe they have a perception that the smaller content creators are just doing it for the love of it, not because of money. Carp said Bobby's not a commentator, he's a book author. Look, I'm just laughing because if you see some of Bobby's comments, they literally, you be scrolling with your phone. If you watch it you look at the comment on the phone, you're scrolling to read the whole comment. It's hilarious. Yeah, that's hilarious. Letha said, I haven't really thought about that. I'm interested to see what others think. Trevor says some people just want to help smaller channels grow and help them out. That perfectly valid. I just say, like, if you actually watch, so let's say I watch something from so one of my favorite podcasts is the Pivot Podcast. All right. It has nothing to do with home gym content, but I watch it. And occasionally I'll see something, not even occasionally, I'll see something. I'm like, oh, wow, that really made an impact on me. Or I learned something from this episode. I still comment. They've got, several hundred thousand. Heck, they might have 1 million. Let me see. Okay, so I undersold them. They have 1.3 million subscribers. I still comment because it was impactful. I don't feel like my comments are helping drive engagement for them, but they may see it. And comments are encouraging. No matter how many subscribers I get, it encourages me when somebody posts something and says, hey man, I love this. Or just as helpful as when somebody doesn't like a video and they tell me why, because that helps me too. I may not agree with why, like your premise, but I'm always interested to see why you do or don't like a video. Trevor said, if you create content, the struggle in the beginning. Yeah. Carb said, I do like trying new, smaller content creators, especially if they have a little bit of a backlog, because you can go back and watch some of their stuff. Yeah, it's like binge watching you discover a show and then you see there's a bunch of episodes, you get to binge watch it. Or I do that with book series. If I get a book and I see it's a trilogy or something like that, or part of a trilogy, a lot of times I want to wait until there's a few other books in the series, because I read really fast, so I can just go through the entire trilogy or the series, and I don't ever feel like I'm running out of content. Eric Echo said, I don't watch any professional sports. I go to our high school football games every week. College sports are also a joke now with NIL. Yeah, so like I said, that's an example right there. People who just like watching, because they say, I want to watch people who are just doing it because they purely love what they're doing, not because they want to get paid. Eric said professional sports is a Roman circus, keep everyone entertained and not asking questions. I mean, I could argue that the same thing happens with high school sports, because you're still going to a high school game instead of asking questions, right? But yeah. Anyway, so that was the question of the day. Even if you're watching on replay, and shout out to the replay gang. Carp is the president of the replay gang, in case y'all are wondering. Please go ahead, put your comments in the comment section, because I really do want to know your response to that. All right. We got a little bit of time, but so we got recliner rage, and then we got a little bit of time. We're gonna go. Hey, stop the presses. Dennis Solis became a YouTube member. My man. What's up, Dennis? Thank you, man. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you. Every member helps us get closer to our goal. In fact, I'll just tell you, our goal is 1,000 channel members. Okay? Our goal is 1,000 channel members. Because at 1,000 channel members, we think we'll be able to, Naomi will be able to go full-time with Garage Gym Life with 1,000 channel members. All right? So if you guys want to help us do that, that will definitely improve the variety and quality of the content when she's able to go full-time. So, if you want to help make that happen, just become a channel member, like I said, and then also share the link with other people who you think might enjoy the content. Because literally it's less than $2. All right. So I appreciate you. Thanks again, Dennis. Let's see here. Manu Parks and Jim said professional sports didn't stop us from asking the question of the day. No, that's true. Well, okay. High school athletes don't have opinions that sway populations. That's true. However, I'm less concerned with whether an athlete has an opinion that sways a population than I am with whether people use that opinion only. So let me put it this way: anything you consume is going to affect your opinion, right? So just because I get an opinion about something from you, for example, about whatever topic it is, doesn't mean that the information I got from you is going to be accurate, right? It's my job as an adult to filter through all the data I get to form my opinion about anything, right? So the fact that somebody has a large platform that sways people isn't the issue. The issue is that people don't listen and watch critically to anything they consume. Oh, yeah. Joey Echeverria, he's definitely vice president. Oh, he's vice president of the replay gang. That's my dude. Let's see here. Equipment exercise. I lurked, then people burned out. 3 Storm, Great, J Cruz, Shiwaku, John Rapp, Home Gym Talk. So I made this account to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Dennis said, of course, you helped me build my Garage Gym for Vets channel. Oh, man, it's my pleasure, too. I didn't do it because I expected recompense, but I really do believe in what you're trying to do over there. All right, so let's do Recliner Rage, and then we're going to, if we have time, we'll circle back around to some of this stuff. I've been pushing these other 3 news items back for like 4 weeks now. So maybe we'll have time, maybe we won't. But, we cannot not do Recliner Rage. It's got to happen. So let's go Recliner Rage right now. Okay, calm down. Take it. No, we're not calming down. I clicked the wrong button. This is the right button. It's time to crash out, lash out. Let's go.
It's the Recliner of Rage. It's the Recliner of Rage, because he's not happy.
Okay, so today's recliner of rage is dedicated to people who respond to my YouTube videos, but who don't respond to my YouTube videos on the YouTube platform. All right, so let me unpack that a little bit. So let's say I text you the link to a YouTube video, and I have family watching, and I love y'all, every one of you. But yes, I'm talking to all 100,000 of you as well. Okay, and for those who are not in my family, I'm serious about that 100,000 family members number. We have a big family, and to be honest with you, that might be lowballing it in terms of how big the family is. Okay, my family is big enough I could go to any continent, and if I have the contact information for a family member, I wouldn't have to stay in a hotel, and I could probably travel around that continent and say, "Hey, I'll just stay with cousin so and so now, and all right, now I'm going to go to this other part and stay with cousin so and so, or uncle so and so, or auntie." Yeah, we got a big family. All right, but in any case, I digress. Let's get back to it. I'm talking to all of y'all as well, okay, and I'm also talking to people. Yeah. So in any case, if I text you a video link and it's a video featuring me or it's a video from my YouTube channel, whatever comments you want to make, I don't want you to text me back. I want you to make your comment by opening the video, watching it, because that's what you do, right? You open the video and you watch it. While watching the video, I want you to post your comment in the comment section. Don't exit out of the video and then text me back, okay? Especially don't text me back and ask me a bunch of questions, because that doesn't help me with engagement. But I understand that behavior, because when I send people videos, random videos that don't involve me, they don't necessarily put comments in those videos. They just text me back, haha, or because it's usually I'm sending people funny videos, so that's what happens, right? So I get that behavior, and that doesn't make me mad. I just appreciate you watching it. It still contributes to watch time. I also understand people who, let's say I DM them a link on Instagram and they reply to me on Instagram, right? I understand. Once again, though, if I DM you a link on Instagram, I'm DMing it to you probably, if I'm in the video or it's from my YouTube channel, I'm probably DMing you that video link because I want to get your comments about this topic that I think is interesting to you on the video, not just to drive engagement, but also to spark conversation about whatever because I think I respect your opinion, and I want your opinion to be recorded in the comments on the video so that other people can see those comments, and it'll spark intelligent and meaningful conversation about it, right? Okay, but I understand if I text you a link or I DM you a link, I get it. You're probably gonna just reply on the on whatever platform I send it to you on. No, what I am complaining about is when people organically watch one of my YouTube videos, and instead of commenting on the video, they exit YouTube and open whatever alternative means of contacting me they have and ask me involved questions there. Let me say that again. I object when somebody discovers a YouTube video, either YouTube recommends it to them or they just see it pop up. I had nothing to do with them finding the video. And instead of asking me whatever question they want to ask, they watch the video, close YouTube, and send me a text. Or watch the video, close YouTube, and send me a DM on Instagram. Or, and this is the most egregious, I definitely do not like it when people do what Matthew from Australia did. And they email me a ton of questions. This is in the case of Matthew. Matthew emailed me a ton of questions about a power rack that I reviewed over a year ago. Matthew, put it in the comments on the video. Now, maybe y'all think I'm being unreasonable. Maybe you think I'm being unreasonable. I'm going to read you one of Matthew's emails that he sent after I asked him to put his questions in the comments going forward. Let's read this. All right. So, initial email he sent to me, and I didn't see it for several days. So I responded and said, "Hey, I'm sorry for the delayed response. I'm just now seeing the email, because it was in my spam folder. That's another reason I'm like, don't do that, because I might not see it. It might go to spam. I am vigilant about getting rid of stuff. And so anything we don't recognize, we're swatting it away like flies. Hey, right? And I'm not necessarily doing it. I'm saying, well, I set up systems to get stuff to leave me alone. So you're likely to be in spam, in text, or email if you reach out that way, right? So anyway, so I told him, hey man, I just saw it. Anyway, I answered this question and then I was done, right? And then I said, hey, please post a comment on the video. I don't have any obligations to anybody that will ever cause me to not be able to give you my honest opinion. So you don't have to feel like, hey, I want to get your real opinion about whatever this is, so I'll ask you offline. No, just nobody runs me, all right? Just put the comment, just put your question in there. So I asked him that, right? He comes back in an email reply. Oh, yeah, thanks for your response. Yeah, he tells me what kind of rack he has. Then he wants to know, then he started asking me about the keyholes on the Frankenstein, wants to know literally, does it go with either 5/8 or 1 inch? I'm like, you watched the video. Yes, it goes with either 5/8 or 1 inch attachments, but still, that would have been awesome in the comments on the video. Have they had any premature wear on the holes you use more often? How does it compare to the Rogue keyhole system? All wonderful comments for the comment section. I said, look, man, I gave him, let's go back again. I answered him again, put this in the comments. He came back. Hey, man, thanks for your feedback. Then he asked me about a different video with a different product. We're still in the emails, and this is over several days. Dude, the final straw was when he came back and he says, hey, I was wondering if you could take some measurements. This is in the email. He emailed me to ask me this. Hey, I was wondering if you could take some measurements for me to see if those Frankenstein uprights can be swapped with my current rack. I'd like a measurement from the base of the upright to the center of the first 5/8 hole center and the first center of the 1 inch hole. Or send me a picture of a tape. Prefer if your tape measure had metric on it as well, from the base to the first couple of holes, like I've shown you in the photo that he attached. Again, this is all in my email. Yes, I'm very sure this is a real person based upon him sending me that final thing with pictures of his power rack and instructions for me to go downstairs and take measurements of my. I was like, okay, look, man, let me tell you something. So I got very direct at that point with using phrases like, hey, look, you know the company that sells this product would give you all the information you just asked for, right? And they'd love to hear from you. But seriously, now I'm going to stop frying Matthew and go just in general. Please don't email me stuff like that about my videos. Put it in the comments. It's not, you're not wasting my time, okay? The whole point of doing a video is to get engagement on it and for people to respond. But I'm saying, if you want me to spend my time answering your questions and being of service to you, the least you could do is pay it back by putting it in the comment section. Seriously. Like, seriously. And I don't mind. Okay. Carb said, yeah, when I get a bunch of questions like that, I'm like, yeah, I don't mind helping you out, but go see if you get that same level of help from Coop. So I don't care how Coop runs his life. But I'm just saying, I don't mind helping people. But look, the lifeblood of somebody who's on YouTube is comments, or on Instagram too, comments. So you're actually taking from us when you engage with us off platform, right? And I'm like, if you like the video, click like. If you had a question or a comment about the video, put a comment or your question in the comments. It doesn't cost you anything. But these are the same people who get upset if you say, okay, well, I'm going to take money from a brand to do a product. But you're making it impossible for us to survive, for us to make a living off of YouTube without doing that. You hate the behavior, but you're the reason the behavior exists. Because you make it impossible. Do you understand that if you get enough watch time, and I know that that's a huge number, but if you get enough watch time and engagement, you actually will get, you can get enough income from YouTube so that you wouldn't necessarily have to do brand deals. You could literally take your own money, buy something, and do the video on the product. So then you'd be unbiased. I get that people don't want to become channel members. They don't want to spend money or whatever. But I'm like, literally, this is a free thing you could do. But I want to feel like I've got a connection to the person. No, or I want to get the unfiltered. I want to get their unfiltered opinion. So I'll email them. Come on, man. Come on, man. Wash your face. Get your mind right. Wash your face. Get your mind right. Jeez. All right. Anyway, so let's go ahead. So now we got people who jump in with, yeah, exactly. Here we go. Jason said, in my experience, this Matthew from Australia guy, after all that back and forth in the emails and everything else, give him the measurements, which I did not do. I did not give him measurements. I just said, nah, bro, you need to contact the brand. He said, but in my experience, Matthew from Australia will either turn out to have an affiliation of his own or he'll use somebody else's link or code. So yeah, he'll get me to do all this work and then he'll use somebody else's code, or he'll go looking for affiliate codes and discount codes online to make sure I don't get any benefit after getting me to do all that work. Carp said, yeah, I've said it before. I'll say it again. We're like the customer service team behind these companies and nobody even knows it's happening. Equipment Exercise said we got to do a quiz funnel and link funnel them to our membership. I mean, yes, there are tricks to get people to become members. I don't want to do that. I want you, if you want to join my tribe and support us, I want you to do it because, not because I tricked you, but because you wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? And he said, especially with the private questions, at least comments build your public portfolio. I guess it'd be turnabout's fair play. Like, you want to do that? I'll make you join my membership. Yeah. Garb said maybe I should start a membership level where they get unlimited questions, but they have to pay a premium per month. Maybe. And that thing with Ko-Fi is okay. I'll check that out, man. That's a good tip. But we now have to shift gears because it is time to, number one, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add LinkedIn. We're gonna add LinkedIn to the show. And yeah, because we now have our guest backstage. We got my guy Mark. So we're going to add LinkedIn. And in order to do that, LinkedIn said, and LinkedIn says, I have got too many words in this thing. Oh, here we go. Watch. We're going to do this. Watch this guy. All right. All right, and let's go. All right, good. There we go. Oh my goodness. It's not letting me do it. Okay, so LinkedIn is not allowing me to add this to stream. Not sure why it's not letting me do this. Because it's saying I have too many characters in the description. So there we go. All right. Good morning. Shout out to the Central Time Zone and welcome to everyone who just joined us from LinkedIn. Please take a minute to click like on this video. And also, if you are watching on YouTube, then I need you to hit that subscribe button. If you are watching on LinkedIn, then I need you to follow our show page, Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life, so you don't miss a single one of our interviews with any of the brands that make the home gym equipment, make the home gym community possible. My next guest is going to be Mark Lupica, who is the managing director of Brute Force Australia. He's probably going to come on here and tell me I said his last name completely wrong, and so I'm going to apologize in advance. But what's more important is that Brute Force Australia has expanded beyond Australia's borders. They've established a foothold in the United States. So I personally am excited to see how this brand is adapting to the needs of the American market as well as the other countries where they have a footprint. Let's go ahead and welcome Mark in here.
You got me all good, John.
Welcome. Thanks for getting up way too early with Garage in Life, man.
Pleasure to be here, mate.
All right. Do me a favor. There are going to be times when you're going to be the only one on screen. Can you, if you're using your phone, can you turn it sideways?
Yes.
To the screen rotate thing. I know that's weird for people. There, that's perfect. That's perfect. Good. Yeah. So then when I do this, everybody can see you in all your glory. You know what I mean?
Fantastic,
especially if you're going to, especially since you're going to be showing us some products and things like that. So the first thing is, you guys who are watching, you guys are familiar with, who are watching the show are familiar with how I operate, right? Whenever I know I'm going to be talking to somebody, I go and I do research on them. And ironically, I found out a fact about Mark because I was looking for a photo of him to use for the thumbnail. So this will answer your question. So I Googled Mark and I get a bunch of responses. And I said, well, there was only one that said Perth. I said, okay, well, Perth is in Australia, so that's got to be him. And at the time, I didn't know what you looked like, right? So I click on the link. It takes me to Facebook. And that's where I see, oh, well, Mark is part of the Rippers. You're a coach for the Rippers, right?
Yes.
And then I noticed, I said, oh, they got a Halloween party. So the Halloween party is going on right now for you guys. And so that's why I told Mark, I said, hey, man, yeah, sorry I'm making you miss part of the Halloween party. He's like, how'd you know that? He's like looking around. Do you have hidden cameras? What's going on here? How long has this guy been following me?
It was very confusing. But by the way, you got the last name perfect.
Awesome. So my last name I think is easy. It's Greaves, but I've had people pronounce it so many ways that are incorrect. People say Griggs, Greeds, like with a D, and I'm like, no, it's Greaves. What's going on here? And I don't understand. Graves. I'm like, please stop it. So I hate it. I hate mispronouncing other people's names. So Mark Lupica. Is it Lupica? Is Lupica. Perfect. All right, man. So I feel successful already. So let's jump into this. We've got a fair number of people watching, including a few who have small brands. So this should be, I think, really educational for everybody who's watching. So let's begin with this. A lot of people don't realize it, and I'm one of those people until I did the research. Brute Force Australia founder David Renouf. Is it Renouf? Renouf. Okay. Close. David Renouf developed the first functional trainer. And up until that point, because I misunderstood something on the Force USA site, I thought Force USA developed the first functional trainer. So it was interesting to find out that your founder actually developed the first functional trainer back in the early 80s. I know he was a bodybuilder, but what led him to take, like existing cable pulley systems and develop that functional trainer?
Well, he founded the business in 84.
Okay.
Functional trainer didn't come across the engine room until about 2007.
Okay.
He started off as a bodybuilder, then went into judging state, national competitions. Then he created a personal training centre, so to get people qualified in Australia as PTs, and then started selling home gym equipment. And that's sort of how it all came to be. And given his background, he was, how do I make it easier for people to train at home? And that's where the Smith, the all-in-one, the cable system, the rack came to be.
Nice. So he basically, because he had not just the bodybuilding background, but he even back in 2007, he's thinking about people training at home. And honestly, while I had a home gym in 2001, or I had a home workout space, let's not get carried away and call it a home gym. It was 2 dumbbells in a box at the foot of my bed. That's a little bit ambitious to call that a gym, but it was a home workout space. But and people were training at home. I mean, I remember Iron Mind was talking about people that would buy their stuff to use it in their homes or whatever. The great Tommy Kono had a home gym in his basement where he was training for the Olympics. And that was obviously way back, but you didn't hear about home gyms. So I think it's interesting that in 2007, I mean, like the CrossFit Games maybe had just come about, that he was already thinking, hey, home gyms might be a thing. I need to help people work out at home. That kind of goes with what I was saying, is like the whole innovation thing is like you're kind of anticipating the needs of the market. That's interesting.
Yes, and so now he's 76 years old, and still works out 5 times a week, but using our current home gym systems. So it is awe-inspiring to still see 76, the way he benches and lifts and all that. And, it's fun. He's my business partner, but working with him every day, and we work out daily on the units. And yeah, just to watch the minds think of what's next, how do we keep evolving from his original idea. And work's fun.
So let me let's dig into this a little bit, because I sent you this question. I want you to think about it a little bit, because your mission statement says on the website says our core focus is to empower customers with efficient fitness products, propelling their journey and objectives through continuous evaluation of evolving fitness needs. Our dedicated R&D team crafts innovative home gym equipment, multifunctional trainers, and strength equipment. So you talk about working out with David every day, 5 days a week. So that kind of unpacks that a little bit. Let's dig into a little bit more. What does that mission statement I just read look like practically for you? And how does it influence like how you actually lead your team to create stuff?
Yeah. So basically, when you think of the home gym market, you're thinking about people that want to work out from home. They can't make it to gyms, and they want to get results. They want to get fit. They want to get healthy. So the research, the development of all the products, and as times go on, lifestyles get busier. Kids, when they come in, work. How can we make it easy? How can we bring the gym to your home? Not just that, but the quality. The most common question is, I want it to feel like my cable system at the gym. And there are some machines out there that just don't feel like that at all. And so back in the past, people would get stung in that sort of way. So with that mission statement, it's okay, you buy a brute force machine at home, you're going to feel that journey, that growth. You're going to love your unit. You're going to want to work out on it. And by developing constantly, again, it's trying to make things quicker, easier, not complicated. I do, because our showroom's our gym. But being a father of 2, I also understand some people would love to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours in a gym experimenting. Some are privileged to do that. Majority can't, especially those in the all-in-one market. So, it's just always thinking, okay, if I was at home, the wife's trying to get the 2 kids ready, I've only got this amount of time to work out, and I want to do a full chest workout. What's the easiest way we can develop that in our functional trainers? And mission statement, that's sort of, our constant thinking, just for the ease of someone who buys our equipment.
Okay. Let me go ahead. I want to throw this on here while we talk. So you guys see the link going below. If anybody's interested in the products, you should go ahead and check out bruteforceaustralia.com. Brute Force Australia serves people on multiple continents. So wherever you are, as is common nowadays, you just select whatever continent you're on, and they'll be able to hook you up and help you out. So I see a lot of older brands. The brand started in 84, right?
Yeah.
I see a lot of older brands that are, I'm not going to name names necessarily, but they're resistant to change, especially because a lot of them started out doing equipment for public / commercial gyms. And I say public gyms instead of commercial gyms because I'm also lumping in gyms that is in like a college rec center. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily a gym for profit. It's a gym it's a publicly available space. But they start out making stuff for those environments. That customer base isn't really demanding, right? If you have, we were at HFA and I was talking to some of the people there, and then on the way back to, on the plane home, my wife and I are talking, and she's like, it just seemed like the people we ran into were different than when we go to something like Home Gym Con. And I said, well, that's because in a commercial gym or public gym, you want to buy like, let's say 100 of this, whatever this unit is. You don't necessarily dig into the knurling, because who's ever gone to a gym and said, hey, tell me about the knurling on your bars? They don't ask you that. They just want to make sure that there's a bar there. They want to make sure that there are collars for the bars. They want to make sure that there's not a long wait for the bench. Or if it's a treadmill, hey, is that thing working? Is it not working? So their questions are going to be more about making sure the branding matches their aesthetic, make sure that they're they want to know about your service. Like, hey, if this piece of equipment goes down, how quickly can you get out to fix it? That kind of thing. How's the lease term? Well, companies who start out servicing that clientele, I find, don't get really innovative in the equipment design, like somebody who's servicing the home gym market, because it's just us. So we're constantly thinking, how do I tweak this? Oh, you know what? This would feel a little bit better if it did this. Or, oh man, if only the handles did this, right? So I think that because Brute Force Australia has a foothold in the home gym experience, that's partly why you guys aren't as resistant to change. I was looking at your UX1, your UM2 functional trainers. They've got the fold function, which is something that is different for functional trainers. How do you guys balance being innovative with also staying true to who your brand is?
Yeah. Well, so a couple of years ago, we made the decision just to do functional trainers all in ones. So we used to sell
wow.
treadmills, bikes, everything fitness, kettlebells. And then we thought, hang on, this is what we really enjoy, the all-in-one system. Imagine if we could spend all our time with this. Any customer that contacts us, it's full attention to the functional trainer. It's just constant work on it. And it's probably the best decision we've ever made. So all our heads are all focused on the machines and what we can do, how we can upgrade certain features, work on attachments, and just better probably service the customers constantly as well. So not just after their purchase, want to get in touch with them straight away, see how everything's going, be accessible with that, and just make sure we can deliver the best home gym. So when it comes to change for us, it's more about upgrading the models. As new things become, the new trend, you've got to try and stay on top with them. But you also want to try and, someone who's bought another model, try and bring out attachments and upgrades to that. You've probably seen those, the pivot arms now are huge. Having those pulley arms. So we've got an upgrade pack coming for our UX1 and UM2, where they'll be able to upgrade very easily those pulleys on that if they want to have those pivot arms on there. So it's sort of also not forgetting our customers in the past, because it feels like, honestly, and you probably have seen this the last 2 years, it's exploding in innovation and ideas and attachments in the industry, unseen of. Like, it just feels, what's next? Flying functional trainer, like it's been insane the last 2 years. And with that, again, when you develop something, you want to put it through proper testing. You want to make sure you get the right range of motion. Is it practical? Is it time consuming? How heavy is it? So even like our new Alpha machine, that took over 2 years to get to where it is today. So you also can't rush.
You talk about the function, because I was going to ask you, what's the difference between the Alpha and the Alpha Cut?
Yeah, so the Alpha Cut is just been released. Basically, we brought that out budget-wise some people don't have that full amount for the alpha, and it is becoming a bit more common now where people want to add things later and not get them all in one.
Okay.
But a big part of our client base is people that just want that all-in-one solution, all the grips, all the attachments.
Okay.
The cut, we've sort of cut out some of the Smith attachments, which someone can add on. We've
Okay.
changed the aluminium pulleys to nylon. We've got rid of the back shroud. A few of the cosmetic things cost money. So we've taken some of those out, but in essence, like the functional ability of the unit, the converge, the quality of the steel, everything's identical.
All right. So we have our first question about the converging Smith machine. And it touches on something that I was going to ask you later, but I'll just go ahead and I'll do it now. First, hey, good morning, Matthew. What's up, my man? Always good to see you, man. So this is from my guy, Jared Martin. So Jared says the converging Smith machine system on your rack, he's talking about the Alpha, looks incredible. He says, are the upright sizes standard in Australia? And I think that goes to what I asked you about. So believe it or not, Jared,
coming out of the States,
that relates to the climate question that I brought up. I sent to you, right? You wouldn't think so, but it does make a difference. So let's go ahead. I'll go to that question now. That's what I love about the live thing, because it takes us where we need to go. So I learned this again. While I was talking to my buddy Connor Riley. He's a strongman and powerlifting competitor, right? I believe he's an Australian national champion in powerlifting. But anyway, you guys don't have the same climate range that we have here in the States. Your climate is a lot more, I don't want to say temperate, but it doesn't have the extremes. So because of that, you don't have, as a general rule, there are no basements. Because we have basements because you have, especially on the East Coast, you have a lot of homes that were colder, more difficult to heat. So you put stuff down, especially you might put like the boiler in the basement or something like that. Then the heat will go up through the house. Well, then that space is available. So when people started wanting to do home gyms, they put it in the basement, because then you also get the advantage of, what do you call it? Is it geothermal heating? Like basically when the ground just serves as insulation, so it makes it warmer. So you get a little bit of that effect as well, right? And then we also have attics, because you have roofs that are pitched because you want to get snow off the roof here in the States. Well, that creates sometimes a usable space. So we have people who put gyms in their attic in the States. In Australia, you guys have, as a general rule, more space to go outward.
Yes.
So you have more. So your home gyms there, they don't go down, they go out. As a result, the equipment you're making, you don't have to worry about, hey, let's do an 82-inch version of this rack or this functional trainer, because you don't have to worry about ceiling clearances and things like that. How did you guys go ahead and respond to Jared's question about the upright size, and then talk about what it's been like since you guys have now been in the States and you're getting questions like, hey, can we get some different heights on the uprights?
Yeah, with the upright question, we have a 70 by 50 millimeter, which we've got in the Alpha, and I know the 75 by 75 is extremely popular, 3-inch by 3 in the States. Basically, the reason we have never had that size is we never really needed it. Ours are all-in-one units. They've got everything you need. But then come the explosion of attachments and all these other companies starting up, creating attachments for the 3x3 standard American rack. It starts making you think, okay, maybe future models will have the 3x3 rack, which the Alpha is coming in a 3x3 as well. So there's an exclusive for you, because that question gets asked to us a lot. With heights, it's sort of something, and we haven't got that question that much. It has happened a few times from the States, and people have dug up into their roof and made extra ceiling height for it.
Oh yeah.
But it's also something where, when we look at the units, the sacrifice of bringing out models of a lower height limits the Smith range, limits the client base. And if someone did buy that unit that did have the room height, but they bought it because it was a little bit cheaper,
Right.
they wouldn't be able to fully utilize it, if that makes sense. Like we find the 87-inch height is perfect up to
Gotcha.
6'6". Lat pull downs off the cable, and yeah, you can't do everything.
I get you. If you make it shorter, then you won't be able to do all the things that it does.
There's a lot of things you'd limit people with certain heights. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Hopefully, there's a way to dig a hole in the basement, make it a bit lower or something. If that is,
I had to
that is
channel
what
their
they're
inner.
after.
I had to channel their inner Bob Peoples.
Yes.
So,
But I mean, some of the photos I've got from customers that have done that, insane. It's good to see what they do to make it fit. Like that UX1 folding, a guy's got it in his wardrobe. Built a new house. It's got wardrobe closers. Opens it up. There's the UX1, folds out.
So that's so I was thinking specifically when I asked you the question about the height, I was thinking specifically about, so Trevor's not on here anymore. He had to go take his he said there was a comment, he's got to take his kids, you know, he's got to do daddy stuff.
Yep.
But I was thinking about him because he's got much lower ceiling. And he's actually been in the market looking for a functional trainer. He's like, I don't know how to get a functional trainer in here. I want one, but the ones he's seen are all too tall. And he's like, I just can't figure out what to do, you know. And I mean, besides, I guess digging down lower. But yeah, that's something that he's the specific example I was thinking of. But I know that there are other people like that who have similar issues. We got some comments. I don't want to avoid them. So first of all, consider this your official invitation from, so Garage Gym Radio is run by Jake, who also is the organizer of Home Gym Con. And so he says he wants me to make sure I give you the pitch for you to bring your stuff to Home Gym Con. So this is your official invite to Home Gym Con at the end of August.
9 months time
next year. Yeah. So this is your official invite. So does that mean you already know about it? Are you coming? You talk about it weekly. This is breaking news. There we go. They talk about it weekly.
We can't confirm yet.
Come on.
We're just working on it logistically and everything. If not this year, definitely next.
You're already in Chicago. You already have stuff in Chicago. Just send stuff from Chicago to Kentucky. It's not that much further to get from you. You already flew it all the way to Chicago. Just take it to Kentucky.
Put the pressure on, John. You'll get us there. Put the pressure on.
I'm just saying, man. We're not letting this go.
I do want to go to Kentucky.
Hey, look, there you go. Hey, it's starting to, there's going to be some. You know what? I do understand it because it's a matter of you being able to get there, not necessarily equipment being able to get there.
No, the equipment's easy. Very easy.
It's a matter.
And to get it built up over there, everything.
All right. So how many people going past your booth would it take for it to be worth your while to fly to Kentucky from Australia? Give me a number. Would you do it for 10?
I think. We want to be there.
Okay. All right. So I can guarantee you 10 just like that. Would you do it for 100? If 100 people will go by your, okay, boom. I can guarantee you 100 people will go by your booth. And if you like, we'll count them like 1, 2. I'll come by your booth and we'll count them as each person comes by. I don't care. I got nothing else to do with my time.
If we go, will we end up being able to do a live podcast with you from the booth?
If you agree to do that, will you come? If I agree to let you do that, will you come?
Yeah, so we'll hash that one out. And if we do go and we do it, then yeah.
Okay. If you come, so here's where we're negotiating, right? Yeah. If you agree to come to Home Gym Con, I will have you on my show live. And I'll give you 2 opportunities to be on the show live with me, if you like.
Fantastic. All right. That's something for me and the partner to discuss tomorrow after the workout and see how we go.
There you go. All right. So now, thank you, Jake. I did it. I'm working for you, Jake. All right. So Kinsey, she says, good morning. I'm excited to listen to Mark this morning. Oh, heck yeah. What's up, Kinsey? Coach Kinsey. Got an awesome YouTube channel.
Yes, she does.
Equipment Exercise says that he shared the link to your video in the chat during my show. And I
Yep.
think he said he shared it with someone else. Like he was like, "Hey, check this out" or whatever. And it's obviously no longer available to see. But he's saying so basically he's now getting to see you after he saw the link pop up and he shared the link. So that's pretty cool. I had no idea
Beautiful.
about that. I think that's really cool. All right, so now we have a question from Japan. My guy Kevin
Yes.
says, "Hey Mark, I'm not 100% sure." Now I've read the whole question. Hey, shoot your shot, Kevin. He said, "Hey Mark, I'm not 100% sure, but I think Japan and Australia have an agreement for reduced to zero tariffs on goods. Is that true? And do you guys ship to Japan?"
Yes, because of the proximity with Japan, they can
I
order
would think
from
so. Yeah.
our Australia site.
Okay.
Get in contact with me, and we can organise shipment from Perth to Japan.
Okay.
Had a lot of inquiries from Japan. We are also working on some retailers over there to distribute for us, to have it on the ground floor over there. So Japan's definitely next on our list to expand to.
So now I'm working for you, Kevin. You're welcome. All right. So I think the thing with I don't know about the ceiling clearance, but it should work. But the thing with Japan is I can see the fold being really, really impactful because
Yeah,
of the space. So and like I said, Kevin has his channel is Home Gym Gains, and so I can see him doing some content with your fold video with your fold product, one of your fold products on his channel. But I think that would be I can see that for the Japanese home gym market, which is actually growing for several
huge.
reasons. Yeah. And in fact, Kevin will be on the show next week. So you come back next week and you ask Kevin questions about his
Yeah.
channel and see if we can make this work. All right. Jared wants to know what are your thoughts on the standalone converging brute force style Smith machine? He said that might be something I would make space for in my limited space. Now he's another basement gym guy, but the ceiling clearance should be fine. So what are your thoughts on that?
It's probably not in our direction, just because we do the all-in-ones.
Yeah.
It's sort of like going down a different route for us. I can't say anything's in the pipeline in that. Like I say, that's our business strategy at the moment is just all-in-one trainers. But never say never. Any idea we see, obviously, we keep working on and just see what's possible.
So let me double click on that. That's like that. I'm saying like the pod. That shows I've been listening to a lot of podcasts because that's that podcaster talk. Let's double click on that.
Yeah.
What's the difference between what he's asking for and the alpha? Like, what would it take to make the alpha into more like what he's talking about?
I think basically removing the half rack, just making it a 4-post with just a converged Smith.
Okay.
And
that's why it'd be like, okay, I got you.
Yeah, because then you're sort of entering a space where people that buy that are people that buy individual pieces, which again we don't sell currently. Like we don't sell all the other individual parts to make a home gym, which just lends itself into a different sort of problem. We sort of see ourselves and our customer base is often that all-in-one solution. Done. That's the one piece I need.
Got you. All right, so look at this. Carp says live show at the booth. I'll be there. Bam, there you go. I'm telling you, I can guarantee you.
There.
No, there'll be a lot more. I promise you, there'll be a lot more than that. JB said John's gonna be at the booth like a bouncer with his clicker checking these. Hey, if I make a promise, I'm right. You're gonna get 100 people. I'll get 100 people there. All right. Let's see here. And now this is it. Yeah, I should have included this this is what they call a sweetener. Okay, Kenzie's mom. You're laughing, but you don't understand the impact of this offer. Kenzie's mom is making cinnamon rolls. She's making her famous cinnamon rolls, bringing them to Home Gym Con. You do not know what you're gonna. In fact, you know what? Actually, no, don't come. More for me. Stay home.
I do love sweets.
I'm telling you, the cinnamon roll should be the deal. That should close the deal right there.
It's close.
All right, let's see. And so Kevin has a distributor he's recommending to you, Uchino. Uchino. So that's the dealer, the distributor he normally works with. So yeah. All right, and Jared says thanks for the answer. Kenzie said her mom is bringing the cinnamon rolls to the live show for sure. I'm telling you, this is no small thing. You've been invited into a very exclusive deal here.
I feel like I have to bring something from Australia now there if we can as well.
Yes. Bring some what's the thing? Dimmies.
Dimmies?
Yeah, what's the no, actually that's just Chinese food. That's Australian Chinese food.
Vegemite, meat pies.
Yeah, Vegemite. There we go. Bring the Vegemite. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
That'd be a good live reaction of your feeling for it.
Like, let's try Vegemite. That heck yeah, that'd be interesting. I'm always everything's content. Okay, everything's content. So I said that you're already in Chicago, and we're talking about. You said that it's no big deal to get equipment to Kentucky. I've seen some other overseas brands, making the decision to set up warehousing space, distribution centers here in the States. Everybody immediately think, or maybe they don't, but my immediate thought was, oh, maybe it's to get around tariffs. But I mean, it's not like you don't still have to pay, import duties. But I feel like there may be a significant impact in terms of how quickly you can fulfill orders and the cost to fulfill orders. So how has having your distribution centers here in the States helped you with shipping and fulfilling orders for customers?
Obviously, it makes it quick. Generally, it's 7 to 11 business days, no matter where you are in the US, apart from Alaska and Hawaii, for delivery from Chicago. We found a great warehouse there, which we store all our equipment. It's very easy shipping wise. The reason we don't have more around in the States, again, it's just for storage of the product. You often find, even if it's going Chicago to California, or Chicago nearby, or Florida, Texas, it's actually not that much different in freight shipping. You might be looking at $80, $100 US. And we sort of subsidize that if it is a larger amount, because it's nothing crazy. And that way we keep all our costs in the one location. So it allows us to do discounted shipping when we do free promotion shipping, or keep the price down on certain things, because we do have to combat the tariffs at the moment as well, which is scary. But what can you do? You can't get your product out. You just wear it and hope. Again, we want people using our product and getting healthy and loving it. So we just wear what we can.
What's funny about that is I remember, so I'm obviously when I'm researching you guys, I see a lot of stuff, right? So that includes me. So one of the searches, I'll just tell anybody, this isn't like a trade secret, it's, but one of the things I do when I'm going to interview someone from a brand is I type in the name of their brand and I type in the word reviews, right? And then I'll type in the name of their brand and I'll type in the word lawsuit. Right? Now how that relates to you and Brute Force Australia is reviews led me to look at some of the written reviews, and that's what I'm looking for, not necessarily like YouTube reviews and things. I'm going to see like what regular people wrote when they bought your stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting, and I ended up seeing an exchange between you guys and a potential customer where you said, we don't profit from freight. Give us your address and we'll see what we can work out for you. I thought that was really interesting, where you're like, look, I mean, people should know, hey, the freight cost goes to the shipping company. But you're also doubling down and saying, we're doing what we can to be able to offer to include the cost of shipping so that there's no additional shipping costs, and help you out where we can. So is that one of the reasons why you said, hey, let's open somewhere in the United States as a distribution and somewhere in the UK, as opposed to just being in Australia and shipping from there?
Well, the problem you have shipping from Australia, paperwork, customs, import duties, taxes, you're sort of either putting that on us, where that's a lot of paperwork for one order, or the customer. A lot of companies out there will say the customer's got to take care of the tariffs, the import duty. That's nightmares of paper. You're scared to make tick the wrong box. It's just smarter business to have the product in the country. We know, and apart from the Alpha, which is only sold out because we're keeping up with the demand, we've always prided ourselves that our equipment's there. We load it up. We don't wait to pre-sell to fill a container.
Okay.
because we know there's a lot of frustration when you read other reviews on people. I've been waiting 2 months,
We do
3
not like
months.
pre-orders. Yeah.
No, no. So that's why all
Yeah.
our function, apart from the alpha, and I say that as it wasn't our intention, but we've got now a container coming every month of that to the States,
Okay.
just to play catch up. And the one landing tomorrow or in 2 days' time, it's half sold already, but then there's another one already in production getting ready to go there. So apart from that, all our other machines you'll see on the page are all in stock, and we always keep them in stock.
Okay.
And
You said
yeah, having
tomorrow.
a warehouse
You
allows
said
you to do
tomorrow,
that.
but you're in the future. So is it tomorrow for you or
Well,
tomorrow
I'm just
for me?
remembering.
Like, is it already there right now for me?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's right there.
Okay.
Our times they always
Yeah.
get me. You're in
Yeah,
morning,
yeah,
aren't you?
So, oh man, I'm trying to think.
7 a.m.
It's 7:38. Hold on. Well, actually, technically, where I am, it is 6:38 a.m. because I changed time zones because of
Yep.
what I'm doing tomorrow. But yes, where I normally am, it's 7:38 a.m.
And so
yeah.
your Halloween starting, mine's finishing.
Correct. There you go. Yeah,
Yeah, there we
that's
go.
actually the best way. Yeah. Now, what were you going to say before I cut you off?
Not sure.
Okay. All right. That's fine. It may come back. So Eric has said he's going to assist with this thing of getting 100 people. He said, I'll get 100 people. We can get 100 people before breakfast committed. But
The
I think,
pressure.
I mean, I know we can have 100 people because, first of all, the thing about, I don't know if you ever heard this phrase. It said an expert is just anybody from out of town with a briefcase. So
Yeah.
there's that whole notion of like, oh, this is something different. It's from somewhere else. So I want to see what it is, even if it's just the exotic factor. Like, oh, what do they do in Australia, right? So you're going to get that. And then if the quality of your equipment is there, like I think it is, word of mouth is going to say, oh, people are going to be telling each other, hey, you need to go over to such and such booth and check it out. Then also the way that they're doing Home Gym Con this coming year is there'll be 2 days with content creators. We'll be going around and checking out your stuff. So we're going to be putting out videos. So you'll get people who will sign up for walk-up traffic because they'll get that FOMO. They'll say, oh, whoa, what's that? I didn't know that was going to be there.
Yeah.
And so then they'll sign up and they'll come in. So when it's open to the public, we would have already built buzz. So 100 might be actually lowballing and underselling.
Yes.
What's going
I'm
to
sure
happen.
it would be. I'm sure it would
Yeah,
be.
yeah, yeah. There's going to be a ton of people. Carb said we need a triple batch of the cinnamon rolls. This is no small thing here. Dennis has a company called Home Fitness Works, where he services equipment, sets up home gyms for people, and he also has another one, a charity thing. He does garage gym for vets, right? And so he's saying that he has friends in your industry who have products at the dock who cannot retrieve their products. They're at the dock just being held because of the stuff you were talking about with the paperwork and everything else like that. So I can see that it kind of I can see how it could impact you if you've got the warehouse, but like help me understand. So just because you've got the warehouse in Chicago doesn't mean that it doesn't still have to come to the country somehow. So do you just adjust when you announce that something is there or whatever, because it still has to go through that process? It's just not on an individual level. Is that what happens?
Yeah. So, I mean, again, it's only the alpha. We've had this outlier of not in stock, but coming soon. So we're in part of the benefit is we can actually say when it's coming.
Okay.
So, we're not going to tell someone they're not going to be on a 2-month wait. We know what's on the water. We know another one's on the water, and then we'll be ahead. So we won't be in this predicament again.
Gotcha.
But yeah, by sending containers, 40, 50 units at a time, we know we're comfortable with stock.
It's more predictable.
So someone orders, next 1-2 business days, it's dispatched. Tracking number within another 1 or 2 days straight after.
Oh, that's outstanding.
You just find, and for me, it helps because I make sure I deal with every customer individually.
So you're doing the Zoom calls and everything.
Zoom, you message Facebook, Instagram, it's me. Zoom, it's me.
Okay.
It's just how I feel as a family business. No one can sell the product like me, if that makes sense. And no one knows the in and out of it. Wouldn't want someone getting a wrong impression or wrong information. and they're not cheap purchases,
Right.
especially when you only sell functional trainers. So I want to make sure it's the right, because we've got a lot of different units, different ratios,
Right.
features, that it's the right one for
Gotcha.
each person. Yeah.
All right. We are talking with Mark Lupica from Brute Force Australia. And so we're getting a lot of good information. If you guys are watching live, shout out to you. Please make sure you keep on putting your questions for Mark in the live chat. If you're watching on replay, shout out to the replay gang. Put your comments in the comment section, and Mark's going to swing by and he'll answer, as he has time, and answer those questions for you. I've also got links for you guys to check out Brute Force Australia in the description for the video. So you guys can do that and go check out, see all the stuff that they have, and set up a Zoom call with Mark where he'll show you the showroom that he has that you guys see behind you. Talk about any product that you have any interest in greater detail. Let's talk about steel. So
Yes.
I don't know if this is peculiar to the American market, but American consumers like 11 gauge steel, and we also are interested in the quality of the steel depending on where it's sourced from. So it's not just, hey, I want 11 gauge. I also want 11 gauge high quality steel where possible.
Yeah.
So your UX1 and your UM2, they look good, but they're both 16 gauge steel. And then your Edge functional trainer is 12 gauge steel. Do you have any plans to upgrade the entire line to 12 gauge steel? And is this something you've only encountered in America?
Yes. And funnily enough, when it's an Australian that might bring it up, or someone from the UK, it's someone from one of the garage communities on the American Facebook. So obviously influenced from that.
Okay.
So that's when the question pops up. So it used to not be a question, if that made sense. Even us when developing it, like the 16 gauge, it is quality steel, but it's rated to 990 pounds on the half rack. And that's the upright. So throughout the machine, then you've got your 12 gauge steel on your main upright supports and everything. But the front uprights, they're 16 gauge. With the folding units, had to be that way to allow the fold and how it works.
Okay.
But there's also a reason all our machines come with a lifetime frame warranty. We know it's efficient. We know 99.9%. If a bodybuilder calls me tomorrow and goes, I want your 16 gauge rack, is it going to handle me? Yes. Yes, it will. If it doesn't, there's a new machine. We're confident in our lifetime warranty with that. That being said, you can't convince everyone. So some want that heavier gauge, like the Alpha's gone to a 12 gauge. We are bringing out a 11 gauge in the future, and it's not because we think they need it. We know they don't, if that makes sense. But some people want it.
I mean, I'll just tell you from my perspective, right?
Yeah.
If I haven't done as many rack reviews of, say, power racks and equipment as some other people, but it's difficult for me to feel comfortable getting on it. And maybe this doesn't matter with a functional trainer, but it's difficult for me to feel comfortable lying down to do a bench press. So my face is under the bar, right?
Yep.
When I remember, hey, while I was putting this thing together, I was cranking down with my socket and ratchet, and I saw it dimple. The metal dimpled when I was putting the bolt in and tightening the bolt down. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm a fairly strong person, but if the metal dimpled from me just ratcheting a bolt, how do I know it's not going to crumble on me if something goes wrong? I'm bench pressing, my face is under the bar. You know what I mean? That's where like the major thing happens. And also I know that uprights tend to be one of the fail points because, it's basically everything's on this relatively small bolt. So so let's talk about how you guys test your equipment, because you're confident in it, which means you test it. So have you guys released any videos of the testing process or anything? You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen videos like that?
No, we haven't, but we have it. We do have it. And testing, obviously, when you offer and that, again, this is our only product, these functional trainers. So when we offer that guarantee, it better be there, otherwise boom, that's us gone. So we test, we make sure we drop loads on it, periods of time, and that's why we're confident in it. and again, there are a lot of budget racks out there, and you know we've bought some, played with them as well, and I know what you mean by dimples and things like that.
Yeah.
And you know, some don't have the weight stacks on them. They don't have all this sort of stuff that has heavy weight to it. Like some of those thin racks, you know, if you drop a barbell on your spotters, the back might fling up.
Yeah, that's
Not
what I
a
mean,
problem with a functional trainer. Not the way we develop them, not the total weight of the units. Yeah, just
Okay.
rigorous testing. So again, we have to get this stuff right.
So would you be willing to release some of those testing videos?
Yeah, for sure.
You can put it on your Instagram, you can put it on your
Yeah.
YouTube. And in fact, when you do it, tag me and I'll if it's on Instagram or something, I'll repost it.
Will do. I got some
Yeah.
with the alpha for you just
Heck
recently.
yeah. Let's do
a
it.
few months ago as well.
Or we can even do the collab on YouTube, you know. So you release it on YouTube, do a collaboration, and then we can do that. We'll talk about that offline. But yeah, okay. Because I want people to feel comfortable and confident in the product that they're buying.
Definitely.
So we have a question from Equipment Exercised. You can answer in whatever detail you want. He said, "Are you aware of the TZ Fit manufacturer and a product that's a competing product to your, I guess, the Alpha?"
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
Okay. So that's a good. That's a good short answer. Let's see here. I think he posted something here. All right. So anyway, so if you've got the link for that Equipment Exercise, just post it in the chat, and then I'll share it with Mark in the private chat, whatever, so you can see it. Dennis said, "Mark, thanks for sharing your expertise." Let's talk about. I know you said that the functional trainer is your only product, but you do have benches, adjustable benches on your website.
Yes.
And this could just be the pictures that were there. But I could tell you something else that Americans like is vertical storage of an adjustable bench.
Yeah.
That's been a deal breaker for me with several other benches. I'm like, oh, that looks good. Oh, it doesn't store vertically. Nope. Because space is at a premium. From the pictures I saw, and I'm going to pull your bench up just so people can see what I'm talking about. It's a good looking bench. It's the X bench, and it's available in stainless steel. And then you have a few other versions. But when I looked at it, it didn't look like it stored vertically. Am I just like
it does not?
It does not.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. We have had one guy who's put hooks on his wall and he sort of hangs it up that way. But no, and like I say, like this bench, the quality of it, the sturdiness of it, how we did design it, like we're not in the market of multiple benches. Basically we're in love with that bench. Like we wanted to replace our office chairs with it, with the comfortable how comfortable it is. But
do it
again,
I encourage you to do
feedback. Oh mate, it's a dream, and not the stainless steel versions, unfortunately. That cost
yeah.
But that sort of feedback again. Okay, how can we do that without substituting any of what we love about it with the rigidity, how strong and stable it feels? Will it impact it? How we tweak it? All those ideas again, because that's what we do. It's daily brainstorming.
I mean, okay, so Kevin said he just saw the folding trainer, so he wasn't aware of that before this show. So that's good. So yeah, he said that's going to be a hit here in Japan. He said his ceiling is about 90 inches, so he's got plenty.
Perfect.
Of room. Yeah. So I'm glad you saw it, man. Yeah, that's cool. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of doing the show, of doing that. So I love it when people say that they discovered something because of the show. So I'm glad he saw that. And let's see here. So going back to the vertical storage of bench, I mean, I realize that you have to kind of respect patents, things like that. But like to me, it seems like there's enough companies that do the vertical storage thing that it's like, okay, there's got to be some variation of it, because you essentially just need to put something on the this portion right here so that it doesn't damage the bench when you stand it up. So like some sort of brace thing right here at the top, you know what I mean? So that way, because otherwise it's standing on the head pad. And so typically when you stand the bench up, it's going to lean a little bit. But if you put that extra little extension for stability right there, then the bench will just stand up straight. and it shouldn't impact anything else, because like I said, there are enough other manufacturers that are doing it that I think that it's become one of the kind of like standards for home gym products here in the States. And I think that if that's any feedback I could give you, I'd say vertical storage is literally, for me, it's a deal breaker, because I don't have the room for a bench that's not going to be, that's going to like always be flat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know that there are other people who feel that way as well. So having said, let me go ahead and stop sharing that. All right, we got a couple more questions. I want to talk about the Zoom calls, because
Yes.
yes, and you can also talk about any products you have that are coming up for the holiday season if you'd like to announce that. But talk about the Zoom calls that you do with people. First of all, the time zone thing is a different thing, because you do it with people from all over the world. So
Yeah.
walk me through that process a little bit. How complicated is it to set that up, and kind of give us an example of what somebody would get if they did the Zoom call? I'm going to give you
All right.
the screen right here.
So in terms of complexity, basically our website adjusts to whatever time zone they're in a country, and then there's available booking times. If there's ever an outlier in that, and I'm in contact with the customer, then we can schedule one outside of the normal hours when I'm not asleep due to the time zone. But yeah, we have them, every day from USA, UK, Canada, New Zealand's obviously not too bad as well. And with the Zoom, we go through our showroom. So there we've got our units through there. And
Okay.
basically, the way we start is, with the Zoom, they'll often select what machine they're after.
Right.
And then with that, I sort of go through, are they aware of cable ratios, which is one of the most important things to know. Is it a 2-to-1, 1-to-1? And quite often with our Zoom customers, they don't.
Well, I'll ask you a question right now. Can you show the edge fold, like just show the folding function of that rack? Let's go
of the
whichever one's
UM2?
Yeah, either that or the edge, whichever one's closest to you, because I want especially since Kevin's watching. Yeah, so I just think that's phenomenal, because again, of space.
There we go. A good visual on me there.
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right, let's
So
get
that's the UM2.
UM2. Undo the knob here on the Smith.
Okay.
Unrack. Storage hole.
Oh, wow.
Eleven seconds, I think.
Wow. That's crazy.
There you go. So it folds to half its depth. We find it even in America with those with the double carports. It's very popular for that. So you can fit a car in. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And that's how, again, like I speak about ease of working out, that's 10 seconds.
Yeah, I love that, man.
And if you're not using the Smith on that day, you don't even have to unfold that. So you're looking at 6 seconds.
So you guys are gonna have you said that you already got your inventory. You guys having any
oh,
that's okay. It's all right. So you guys already have most of your stuff is in inventory already. Are you having any like promotions for definitely Black Friday, any holiday promotions that are coming up?
Black November sale has just started. So it's now sort of become the norm to do it for the full month. So you can find discounts on the UM2 UX1, the new Alpha Cut. Yeah, basically they're all on our website at the moment.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, and let everybody know how they can check out the sales, how they can, where to go if they want to set up the Zoom call with you to check out more of your products.
Yes, so
and how to follow you on social media.
Yes, bruteforceaustralia.com, the website, so you can book a Zoom easily on there. Facebook, Instagram, bruteforce_AU. Again, if you inbox either of them, you come direct to me every time. And yeah, they're the best ways to reach out.
Okay, now you guys also have a YouTube that's got some videos that are on there that people can see some of your products on there. So I've also got that link going across. So you guys can make sure you subscribe to Brute Force AU on YouTube, and he said check him out on Instagram. So I appreciate you, man. This was an awesome conversation. Let me check the comment section, make sure I didn't leave anybody out.
I'll just quickly show
okay.
you our gym. There's our commercial gym.
Okay.
Through there. So this is basically where all our inspiration and ideas come from. Yeah, we've had this for 10 years as well.
So anybody who's watching this, if you're watching this and Mark's no longer on, Mark Lupica with Brute Force Australia, he's we're reaching the end of our time with him. If you have any other questions, go to this. I'm going to put this link. The link is in the description. It's on the banner. Go to bruteforceaustralia.com and set up a Zoom call with Mark. He's happy. He just said he's happy to answer your questions, show you stuff, anything like that. But there is one more question that I want to throw out, and I think this is an important one because I've gone through this of putting something together and there are no instructions, assembly instructions. This is from Dennis. He said, are there assembly instructions? Are there assembly videos? Because he said, my experience is that the average person runs into difficulty with the angles of static images, or if you just have a manual that's just written. So he said, sorry to be a wet blanket. I don't think you're being a wet blanket at all, Dennis. I think that's good. Like I personally, my wife and I put stuff together all the time, and we personally love it when you have an assembly video for a product. So do you guys have that?
Yes, so we do. We don't for the alpha yet. It's still in filming and editing. But also what we do is, because again, we build these things often. So sometimes you don't think as you get a new model, or no one might not have a clue about that. So we update the manuals digitally. Every time we might get a bit of feedback from a customer, hey, I wasn't clear on this, or I've had an issue with this step. Then on the manuals, we add like a little asterisk and, hey, just in case, check this, check that. So yeah, the manuals get amazing over time, if that makes sense. Always important that people have an ease of building. They're not as complicated as people think, especially our units. It's always just the time, about 6 hours for an install.
Cool. All right, so everybody make sure they go follow at BruteForce_AU on Instagram, so you guys can see some of those product testing videos. They're gonna go viral. All right. And I appreciate you for being here, my man. This was awesome. Thank you for and
thanks
honestly,
for having me.
This all started because you subscribed to our channel. So I appreciate you for subscribing and for that support as well. So it was cool. And good luck with the Rippers this season.
Thank you, mate. And I look forward to hopefully having Cinnamon Scrolls with you.
Hey, there you go. All right. Get you to home gym con. Take it easy, man.
Thanks, John. See you, mate.
Later.
Bye.
All right, so that was Mark Lupica from Brute Force Australia. Mark is, as you guys can see, he's an awesome guy, and really, I love how invested he is in customer service. That really came through a lot through that interview, and he's obviously very knowledgeable about the product. But we are now going to give a shout out to the Mountain Time Zone. If you just joined the show, we just wrapped up a great segment with Mark Lupica from Brute Force Australia. My next guest is a friend of the show, Jason Benoit, who is the co-founder of Exponent Edge. I'm going to say that you know that your brand has innovative products when the immediate reaction that people have upon seeing your product from you is, ooh, that's interesting. And that's what happens every time I show an Exponent Edge product to anyone in the fitness industry, whether it's somebody who's just buying stuff and they're using the equipment, or it's somebody who has some sort of fitness related service or anything like that. They see Jason's stuff and they're like, ooh, I haven't seen that. Ooh, what's that? Or, ooh, that looks cool. So for those reasons and others, I am super excited to catch up with Jay to talk about the latest with his brands, with his brand and well, no, actually brands, multiple brands. So let's go ahead and give a warm welcome back to Jason Benoit. Jason, early, man. Thanks for getting up early, my man. What's going on? Let's see here. Can you hear me? I cannot hear Jason. Jason cannot hear me. So let's do the private chat. Okay. Hold up.
Can't. I could hear you in the beginning, but I can't hear you now.
Can you hear me now? All right. So can you guys hear me in the live chat? Somebody post in the live chat if you can
Anybody
hear
else having this problem? Just me.
Let's see here. Can you guys hear me in the live chat? Because it's showing that my mic is fine. Okay, so my mom says I can hear Jason. All right, mommy, can you hear me?
I can't hear you, John, at all, man.
Hold on a
So
second.
I'll put my headphones back in. So,
Okay. All right, so can you hear me now, Jason?
So at least Roberta let us know that she can hear me, but
Yeah. All right, so can you guys, somebody put in the chat. All right, and she can hear me. Okay, so let's try this. All right,
I still can't hear anything.
All right.
I'm gonna pop out and I'll come back in.
Perfect. Okay. Okay, so while Jason goes out, comes back in. Hey, appreciate it, Dennis. So he's gonna go out, he's gonna come back in, and we'll see if that solves the problem. In the meantime, let's go ahead and add him to the stage. All right, is that better? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, there we go. You can hear me. All right, good.
Let's get my my headphones back.
So they're saying that they could hear you and they could hear me, but you couldn't hear me, and I couldn't hear. That's funny. All right. Well, technology. This right here is why. This is why I have no fear of the machines taking over like they did in Terminator. Because machines can't, look, they can't even handle transmitting sound. Anyway, so you know what I mean? Like we have nothing to worry about. So anyway, man, let's first of all, welcome back. Thanks for coming back. And I love that I asked you that right as you took a drink of coffee.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone notices. This is my Eagles coffee cup.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah. So that's the end of this show. Thanks for coming. No, the show's not over. We're gonna keep talking, but all the Eagles fans, get out of here. All right. I like Washington. You did that on purpose.
Yeah. Nah, dude. All good. Yeah. I'm not a liver dyer. Well, I mean, I'm a huge fan, obviously, but I'm not one of those guys where like if they lose, it affects my day, right? It is what it is. So,
dude, it took growth for me to get to the point where it didn't ruin my day. Because anyway, I still remember I watched some game and I was like mad. I wasn't even depressed. I was just mad, right? And then I saw the players and they were kind of like hugging each other and exchanging jerseys with the other team. I said, oh, well, if they're not mad about it, why am I mad? So forget it, forget that. So let's talk about your stuff, man. You've been extremely busy since we last spoke. I want to jump into all the new products you've come out with. But before we do that, I have to tell you that my wife, Naomi, who is in the chat right here. Hey, baby. Hope you're feeling better. She's been under the weather. So I hope you're feeling better. But she's been using your Flex Wedge as a foot plate for her low cable rows. And we thought we were geniuses, right? And then we saw you doing it on Instagram a few months ago. So do you find that you come up with your products as a way to problem solve? So like you come up with one product to solve a problem, and then you find that it also solves like 2 or 3 other problems that you weren't thinking about originally?
Yeah, I think that's always the case. There's times where I'm using one of my products and I'm thinking about doing a new exercise, or, I could be seeing someone do something online. One of my favorites for lower body movements is I think it's Julian Hard. Great at lower body movements, man. And so I see him do stuff. I'm like, wait a minute. I could use my landmine bar. I could use my Flex Wedge, or I could use some other product in some way to be able to perform that exercise. So sometimes it's things that I come up with, and it's sometimes things I see other people doing that I could use my products to incorporate to perform that exercise. So a great example is I saw these guys doing an exercise called the somersault squat. Never seen them in my entire life. I've never performed somersault squats. I turned 47 today. So I'm old.
Oh, wow.
And my lower back does not like me doing a lot of barbell squats every workout. Like I still do it like every other or every third workout. But I'm trying to find ways to take a little bit of stress off my lower back. And I saw these two guys doing somersault squats, and it says takes all your lower back pain away. So I'm like, I got to try this. And it's you perform it with your heels elevated. So I use my flex wedge, and the exercise one is unbelievable. I can't believe I've gone 47 years without doing this exercise. And two, it really blasts your quads. So if I'm doing barbell squats for like 4 sets and my lower back starts giving me that, hey, dude, it's time to kind of, take a step back, stop doing these, I can jump right into those somersault squats and finally exhaust my quads again, and not have any lower back pain for the remainder of the workout. So it's kind of cool. You can find ways to use this stuff. Not that you need to use the flex wedge to elevate your heels. You can find many other ways with bumper plates or regular metal plates, whatever you got. But it was just a nice way to incorporate one of my pieces of equipment on an exercise I've never done before, and the exercise is unbelievable. So if you've never done somersault squats, I actually just did a reel on it. I think it was last week. I really recommend trying them, man, because they are killer on your quads. My quads were literally shaking after doing 4 sets with a 44-pound kettlebell. So I got to buy heavier kettlebells now, but just one of those things where you don't really need all that much weight for those things to kill you.
So this is the somersault squat you were talking about right there, and you're doing it with it. Yeah.
Flex wedge, kettlebell. So really you want to bring the weight all the way up to your crotch, right? And so heels are elevated because that helps put a little more emphasis on your quads than say on your glutes. And you're just going up to a straight position in a full range of motion. And trust me, it probably doesn't look like it's all that hard, but by the time you get up into like 10 to 12 rep range, you don't see it in the video because I cut it out and edited it, but my legs were shaking. So
I'm about to say that actually, you're like, hey, it doesn't look like much. No, it looks miserable. I'm looking at the angle. I'm like, oh yeah, he's probably miserable.
The best part about it is that I feel nothing in my lower back. It's great, man. So nice. Whether it's something where I take a workout where I'm like, no weight on my spinal cord today at all, I'll usually start with those. Or if it's I want to do some heavy barbell squats, and then I'll finish off with doing a bunch of sets of those things. It's been a good way to incorporate into my workout, and honestly, I've done it every workout since I first tried it. So
okay,
so
sweet. Yeah. So as a side note, I've made you a promise in our email exchange, in one of our email exchanges, and I'm going to fulfill that promise right now. So first, we're going to do this, and we'll have this up the entire time. Feel free, everybody else, to join in. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jason. Happy birthday to you. Cha cha cha. There you go.
Dude, I give you an absolute A for effort on that. So
like you absolutely tried your best.
Yeah. Oh, dude, if you like, I'm telling you right now, like I would sound even worse. So
yeah. No, but I appreciate you. And so I'm a firm proponent of never working on my birthday. And although this doesn't feel like work, it is. So I appreciate you even more for taking time to come on here and kind of unpack what's going on with your brand and even like you just dropped a gem right here with the somersault squats, So I think that was really, really cool. I appreciate that, man. So and my mom said happy birthday.
Thank you. Just so you know, like I'm a bodybuilder and home gym lifter at heart. So I've been training at home for 25 years. So, and I'm certified personal trainer in the past. I don't train anybody now. So like when it comes to exercise and stuff, like I feel like I can be at least a little bit of a resource, not just from exercise equipment perspective, but also from doing a whole bunch of different exercises for people. So listen, even if you're not going to buy equipment from me, I don't give a crap. Check out my page and stuff because I do share a lot of stuff on exercises that you can do at home to build muscle, especially in a small space. And you don't even need to use my shit. So like, I just encourage people to check it out. So,
okay. So Hypertrofit said the Exponent Edge landmine jack was the final crucial piece in my chest supported row setup. And he says, great stuff. And I agree. I think that's really cool. So let me back up a little bit. So I was talking to a guy 2 days ago, and I actually told him, so his company creates apps for different brands, from Gold's Gym to smaller brands, and they basically make it like easier for you to set up a customer interface, right? So a shopping experience. So if it's a gym, it's an app that you can give to your clients so that they can sign up for classes or whatever if they're not there, or give you an online experience. And then if it's a business that has goods and services, it's basically a shopping cart with Shopify, right? So he and I were discussing it, and I mentioned your brand as a brand that would be, I said, so you kind of work with brands like this. And he said, well, what does he sell? And I showed him your Infinity Bench. Well, this guy has a home gym, and he saw it, and immediately he was like, oh, like he like leaned. I saw him like leaned in on the video chat, right? And that's what I was talking about when I said that. That's like the immediate reaction. So this, the Hypertrophy saying that your landmine jack was the final crucial piece in his setup. It's like, you make stuff that is like, oh, that's the piece of the puzzle I've been looking for. The Infinity Bench, the landmine jack. You've got the landmine bar that's going to be the piece of the puzzle for somebody. How does it feel? I mean, I kind of think I know, but how does it feel as somebody who's creating solutions that essentially solve problems you're having, but then to find that, hey, there are other people out there who are like, oh, I'm so glad that somebody finally made this, or I never even thought that would be a solution. It's the thing I didn't realize I needed, but I got to have it now. How does that feel for you as a creator?
First, I'll just lead in by saying it feels great. Like, of course, a lot of the stuff that I build is always trying to solve an issue I have in training in my home gym. There are times where I feel like now from an entrepreneurial perspective that I'm not just always thinking about solving problems in my space now. It can be both, but it can obviously solve problems for both what I'm doing as well as for others. But it always feels good that you're helping someone else, whether that's improve their health, making their space more efficient, or like you're allowing them to now train some exercises they weren't before. And that there's some validation in the stuff that you're creating, right? Because I mean, entrepreneurs, we have, a bazillion different thoughts that enter our head every single day, really big highs, lows, all those things happen. But when you're able to create something and somebody else, validates that your idea was a good one, it feels good, especially from a early entrepreneur who's still trying to just build a business, right? So it's always been enjoyable to find out that other people appreciate the stuff that you're able to build.
So now here's the other side of it. It's like, and I want to be let's just dive into that. So you brought out with the Infinity Bench. I'm just going to say, you came out with the Infinity Bench, and we talk about the reaction that the users have. Mm-hmm. Then their companies, they see it, they say the same thing. Ooh, what's that? Right? But their reaction isn't, oh, that looks a cool product, let's use it. It's, hey, let's copy it, right? And so as much detail as you want to get into, one of the products that's out isn't a copy. Looks like a collaboration and it's from Freak Athlete. And I know that's why a lot of people are here. They're like, hey, what's this deal with Freak Athlete? Yeah. How did that even work out? And so many people have told me that they're excited about the Freak Athlete ABX coming out. Talk a little bit about how that happened.
Yeah. So first, John, as you know, I was the first person ever to release or sell a bench that turns into a half bench.
That's correct.
It's very easy to tell. There's plenty of video material from my bench being at Home Gym Con 2024.
Yep.
So if there's anybody who wants to argue that, there's video evidence, right?
Yep.
And so a little background, I'll give as much detail as I can.
Sure.
But a little background is the Infinity Bench, believe it or not, was one of the first products I was working on outside of my wall-mounted glute ham developer, my rack-mounted glute ham developer. So it was another idea. And really the idea came from talking to my engineer, like, dude, I would love to have a bench that I could do some overhead work and not hit my damn bench. And he's like, well, that's simple. So that's how the idea came. And it was literally a 1.5 to 2 year project. And it was one of the first things I did. So I would say there are definitely some learning lessons on my side on protecting myself. And listen, I've protected myself on other products prior to the Infinity Bench, but it's also been a learning process for me on how to protect myself. Unfortunately, this did not go the way I wanted it to go, to protect myself, so that way all these other people copying would not be able to do that. So with that aside, and throwing that mistake away at this point in time, that will never happen again in the future. So anything that I come up with that is unique, it will 100% be done correctly. So that will never happen again. So I'll let that be that. But there are individuals who are obviously making copies of the bench based upon the things that happen. There's really not a whole bunch I can do, and that's kind of like the thing I wanted to try to stay away from. But I want to give a huge kudos to Freak Athlete, because they are a group that approached me in the absolute right way and talking about doing, we'll call it a collaboration. It's really an ask to use the technology that I had used on my Infinity Bench on their ABX. So anytime there's a group that comes to you and approaches you in the right way, there's always a desire to kind of work with them, right? And so that's kind of like how it unfolded. And working with them, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that happened in the background after we came to work together. And I'm not trying to say there's anything that was negative with Freak Athlete. It's been a great experience. So there's nothing on their end. It's just been other things in the background regarding the product technology that didn't go as desired. So that's the part that didn't go well. But like Freak Athlete did the right thing. There became a time where there really was nothing that they had to do for me, and they still decided to publicize on their website and their ad about using Exponent Edge technology on this. So it's been a good experience. Listen, I haven't worked with a lot of groups on collaborations, but if there's a way I would define how I would want a collaboration to go, it would be with how that worked with Freak Athlete.
So I wanted to make sure that we got that clarified, because well, there are several reasons. First of all, I was kind of like a hardliner as far as like the other, because I knew they were copies, and I knew that these other companies weren't paying you. So I was like, I took a hard stance. Heck, I kind of like went off on poor BJ from Iron Clinic about a product. But now I'm like, okay, let's focus on, first of all, that Freak Athlete did it the right way. And then also, and then also I want people to understand that while they did it the right way, you don't profit off the sales of the ABX, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so if somebody wants to support the original creator, they still need to go and purchase the Infinity Bench from you. But you obviously aren't blind. You can see, like, things that are happening. Like when you see stuff in the market, what I mean, like people take the product, and in some cases they may do something that, this may be some sort of an improvement or whatever. There's nothing stopping you from seeing a product that's copying your product anyway and saying, that's a good idea. I'll do it with mine as well. So then your product again leapfrogs them. That's going to benefit the consumer. And then I would say that in knowing you tend to be a lot more responsive to improvements based upon customer feedback than some of the bigger overseas companies. So how can anybody who's tried your Infinity Bench specifically, or any products that are similar to the Infinity Bench, how can they give you feedback if they want to help you improve your design so you can stay competitive? Because that's a way to support you too. Like, hey, have you thought about this?
Yeah, so I mean, I do get a lot of that. So I think there's probably a lot of us in the space that do get, whether it's emails, whether it's DMs on social, trying to give us some ideas to make some things better. It does happen frequently. And I have made modifications to products based on feedback.
Yep.
One example would be when I first released the rack mount GHD, there was a foot plate. The original one did not have a foot plate on it. And this was many years ago. And just getting feedback from some customers like, hey, it'd be nice to have a foot plate. Next thing you know, the next version has a diamond foot plate on it.
Right.
So not just that, there was other improvements that were requested, and we made as many of those modifications that we could to make sure to do a couple things, make sure it still functions properly, right? We still want it to function as needed. And two, we also have to keep cost consideration in mind. So although there's times where there could be some really good suggestions on modifications to a product, sometimes some things can't get incorporated because of a cost, like whether that's just too much, and then you get research and find out, yeah, we could add this in here. It's going to cost us $20 more. I've got to make my margin on it, so it raises the price of the product $90, whatever the heck it may be. Does that put us out of like the price range of selling the product? So those all have to be taken into consideration. But if anybody wants to talk to me specifically, the avenues are there's on my website, there's a chat section where you can chat with me. Essentially, it'll send me a chat message. It's called.
And you're the one that's going to get it because you're a small business, so you're going to get the chat, right?
I'm the one that's going to get it.
It's not going to go to your overseas call center.
No, I don't have one of those. And then, so you can also email me on my website. There's also my contact information from an email perspective, so you can shoot it that way. But I also get people reach out to me on mostly on Instagram, where they'll send me a DM and give me some tips on some things. And some of them are very easy to implement, and I'd say many of them we've thought about before, whether it's me or my engineer, but there have been some where we haven't thought about them. Okay. So I would say, like, I wouldn't tell people to feel discouraged to mention something. I don't think in many cases that you're going to bother a creator of giving them some ideas, because potentially it can make a better product or fit a need. We might have desire to make that modification. I don't think it's anything that someone's going to take it personally. I know I wouldn't. I'd like to make my products be as beneficial to myself and or the people that purchase the products as possible. So reach out to me that way. Let me know if you have any ideas. We are always working on things and trying to figure out some things, just like on the Infinium bench. There's always opportunity to make things better than they are today. So that could be any product. So I appreciate you bringing that up, and hopefully if people want to send a message to give an idea or a suggestion, please do. But I would also tell people, if you have a good idea for a piece of equipment, don't go blasting stuff on the internet, dude, because once you do that, it's someone else. If there's no panic, it's someone else can do whatever they want with it. So if you really have a good idea, I understand it's hard to do. Believe me, I had no desire to start my own business. I was trying to get licensing agreements, royalty agreements with some of the ideas I had. There are people who are successful in doing that. I will tell you, it's not going to be this big money maker that it's going to be, because royalties and license agreements, the percentage you get is small. That doesn't mean don't try to do it. If you have zero desire to ever run an entire business, it could be a great route for you. But what I discovered is, if you're really going to make some idea of yours come to fruition, in all likelihood, you're going to have to make it and sell it. Because every company has different priorities, right? So somebody could come with, John, you could come to me with a good product idea. I'd be like, dude, that's a really good idea. That's 11th in my totem pole right now. I'd like to get to it, but like I got 10 above it. And who knows if all of a sudden, like, I come up with something else for one of my current products and say, ooh, that's got to jump the line. So now that keeps staying down there, and maybe I'll eventually get to it, but we also only have a certain amount of capacity to get what we can get to, right? Sure. And or capital to be able to get to the things that we want to do. So like all those things come into play, and that doesn't mean, like, listen, that doesn't mean you have a bad idea. I tried to get licensing agreements for 5 years. I wasted 5 years of my time getting licensing agreements, and no one ever agreed to anything. And look what I've built. So don't feel like someone's shutting you down and not getting back to you that you don't have a good idea. If you think it's a good idea, try to do it, right? Yeah. Go out there and do it. There's unfortunately for most, there's no other way.
Yeah. I mean, and there are avenues out there now, like what's the guy? I guess free plug for them, but Send Cut Send. Like they'll do some of your, they'll do some of your stuff, help you with some of the.
Yeah.
If you don't have technical skills for some of that stuff, you can send the idea to them, and the people. There are ways to get it done, but ultimately, you are going to have to come out of your pocket to to create something. Yeah, I mean, like when I made my my rack mounted cup holder, right? I was like, I thought this thing is going to be like, I said, man, this is going to be a great idea, and I think it's a great idea still. I abandoned it when because I was in the process. I made one, and it was so prohibitively expensive for that one. I was like, I don't see how I can make. I was like, how can I make this in volume to make me, so I can actually sell it at a low enough price for it to work out? While we're going through the process of me trying to find somebody that could, help me cut the costs, Massonomics came out with their version, which is completely different in design from mine. So I definitely don't think they stole my idea, but they picked the same product name for the cup holder, right? Yeah. So I was like, well, what's the point of me? There's no reason. Now I'm going to look like I'm copying them. I don't want to fight that battle, whatever, right? But I'm just saying I understand the hesitation people have, like, oh, it's going to cost a lot of money to create the product, because I've at least done enough of it. And I love the fact that I went through that, because now I understand about the whole process of how people can hesitate to like, I don't know if I should put that much money into something that may not ever sell. So I get it.
So you mean when you hear all the messages, well, listen, we could get into a laundry list of things that we see where someone says, oh, I can make that and sell it for $30.
Yeah.
Guess what? Hey, here's what I would say.
Have at it. Have at it.
You will crush the rest of us, and if you can do it profitably, have at it.
Oh yeah, the people who like don't. Why is this so expensive? I'm like,
I would only spend $40 on that. Well,
okay, have at it
for that. So
yeah.
And listen, so it's like it's hard to know these things if you haven't tried it. If you haven't and that's where you have some leg up here, is you've tried it and found out like what is it really. And manufacturing something isn't your only cost. Like,
no,
there's a lot of things that come into play.
Oh yeah,
it's not just
compliance.
Okay, I can buy the steel sheet for whatever the dollars are. Yeah. That's not your only cost, dude. Like your time has a cost. Like you're paying for shipping for something. You're paying for research and development. Like, listen, there's a lot of costs out there. Insurance. So like, there's a lot of things that you got to pay for that go into the price of a product. That not just the price of the steel, and then who's making it for you, right? Yeah.
I mean, there's to me, there's also the testing cost to make sure it's safe. With a cup holder, I mean, there's the testing, safety testing that's going to be low, but still, you still got to do it, because what happens if this thing breaks and hurts somebody's? Not even the person. Let's say it hurts their kid. Now it's you could literally just, and you kind of understand this because of what you do in your alter ego, your other life. And I used to do insurance when I had a job with an insurance company. You understand that if something happens to a kid, let's say they're 2 years old, that kid has until they're 18 years old, maybe older, to file a claim against you. So they could come back if they're 2, they could come back 16 years later and file a lawsuit against you for this thing that happened and say, oh, I can't see out of this eye now because when I was 2 years old, your product broke and a piece of it hit me in the eye. We went to the doctor, thought I was fine, but now I'm having vision problems, and now you got to deal with that. So product testing is like it's part of your cost you have to embed into it. Yeah. So let's
Which
see
is
here.
nice in engineering software today. The nice thing is engineering software can give you very good approximations. Yeah. And so like, for an example, if I were to take my flex wedge and throw it into engineering program and it says this thing can handle 2,500 pounds. I'm probably not going to publicize 2,500 pounds, but I'm going to publicize 1,000 pounds and I'm going to test it with 1,000. Because like the rule of thumb in the engineering industry is typically 2x what you're actually saying it can withstand. So if it's like, if you got cables in an elevator and it says, oh, this is able to withstand 40,000 pounds, it's probably rated for actually 80,000. Yeah. But so like that's kind of like the rule of thumb from an engineering perspective. Now, that may not be how everyone does everything, but for the most part, that's what my engineer has told me is how when they do their testing. But engineering programs can test how strong something can be now. And if it gets a rating of we have a product we're working on and it says it can withstand 60,000 pounds, I think we're good to go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we don't have to
Oh.
make any modification. We don't have to make something stronger. It's saying 60,000 pounds. I
Right.
feel safe with what somebody can squat.
Yeah. So I know we don't want to spend way too much time on this, but this is something
Yeah.
that I knew was going to come up. So equipment exercise, you kind of touched on it a little bit. Equipment exercise had no idea because of his other comments that the freak athlete thing was the way it was, right? You're not getting money from it, right? And he wants to know, why do they get to use your brand name in their ads? Does that benefit you at all?
Absolutely. So, like, I think many of you know that Freak Athlete is a larger company than I am. So the benefit to me through this relationship, even though it didn't go exactly as we had all originally planned, is I'm getting exposure. So for somebody like me who's a smaller business, who I've only been around for not even 3 years yet. Next month I will have, from the date I first started anything, it'll be 3 years in December. What a lot of us need is we need brand exposure. So there's only the number of people who actually know who Exponent is such a small number that there's a lot of us that would benefit just from a collaboration on getting our name out there further. So with a company like Freak Athlete, who uses my name on their website or in their ads, anything on social, that's getting my name out there in front of likely somebody who hasn't heard of me before. So that there's definitely a benefit to me with them putting my name on all that. And that's one of the things, like I said, like there's things that they've done ultimately after all this that they don't really necessarily have to be doing. And Freak Athlete, please don't stop. That get my name.
Shout out to Benji.
So yeah. Great. I mean, trust me, they're awesome to work with. So they're great. They're great people to work with. So I definitely appreciate it. So that's kind of like the benefit to me on my end at this point in time.
Okay. So Equipment Exercise says, I'm glad John has you on today. I almost got the ABX thinking that because he thought he was getting it thinking you would get a cut. So let's segue into that. And then Dennis, I haven't forgotten your question. I'm going to come back to it about the core combo. So let's segue from that into what you are doing with the Infinity Bench, because you are actually making upgrades to it right now. What are some of the planned upgrades that you're going to, as much as you want to share?
Yeah. So like the bench that was sold on the first round, I'll say there's modifications to it. I wouldn't call them major improvements, but there are some improvements. One of the most popular types of fabric being used right now is called a grip vinyl. So we're moving from what we have today, which is still great. My bench, if you can see it right here, the bench that I'm sitting on, I've had this for 2 years. So, and I use it no less than 5 days a week. So, and my wife uses it, and my 14-year-old uses it. So, trust me, it's still really good fabric. But grip vinyl has been something that they are defining as like a step up. So the new one will have grip vinyl on it.
So it'll be a grippier surface.
Yeah. So not that it's not grippy now, but like this.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's the same as the one that I have in my garage. It's grippy, but it's gonna be grippier. I got you. Yeah, makes sense.
And then the front handle, all we did with the front handle is right now the handle is vertical. We moved it to be horizontal. That was from customer feedback. Me personally, I could care less. Right. And then on the sides of the device, on the incline mechanism, the angles are now going to be etched into that plate, and the plate's also stainless steel. So it's a better plate. So those are all, and then the other modifications have really just been from a boxing perspective. So those are the things that you're going to see on this unit. It is described on the website, but those are improvements that you'll see on it. The unfortunate thing is I don't have new pictures for you. I will when they come in a couple. So that's kind of like how it goes.
Send them to me. I'll put them on the show.
So like I mean, and we're always trying to think of other things to do on the bench, but none of the other stuff is, we'll say, necessarily in the works as a definitive at this point in time. So we're still looking at anything with
like a handle.
So Well, there's a handle in the front. Oh, you're talking about a handle on the incline mechanism? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, John, I got your notes. That is something that I'll be discussing with my engineer to find out, like, how do we want to do it? Because I understand what you're talking about. So,
Gotcha.
yep. Yeah, trust me, I take the feedback. It's written down.
Oh, I know. I'm letting. It's more. I want other people to hear you respond. Yeah.
But nothing definitive at this point in time.
Gotcha. So let's go. All right. So now let's circle back to Dennis's question about the core
What
combo.
the heck? Hold on
You still
a
there?
second. Yeah, I'm still here, but I'm not sure what happened.
I still see you.
Kicked in somewhere.
I still see you.
Do you hear me now?
Yep.
Something else, I think, grabbed in my house. I don't know. That was weird, but we're good.
Okay. All right. So this question was about the core combo, right? So for people watching who don't, I'll actually pull it up while you're talking about it. So he said it's a highly detailed product. How long did it take with the core combo to go from concept to production? Keeping in mind that there are a lot of different parts to the core combo.
Yeah. So we're talking about the landmine bar core combo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so originally I had planned to have the landmine bar at Home Gym Con 2024. That did not happen.
Right.
So,
but you had a lot going on, so yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I had a first prototype done, but that first prototype did not meet the snuff. So we had to make some changes. But the landmine bar, another thing, it's like I think people would be surprised at how long projects take. Landmine bar was no less than a year and a half. And there's some of the things I really want to share about this bar that I think people don't really understand. The very first thing I want to point out is the attachments, that swivel handle. It's highlighted in 2 spots on my website that will not attach to any other bar that's out there. Okay. So I've had multiple people who buy it and then they need to return it. Well, this doesn't fit on my bar. No, it does not fit on your bar. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, I can only ensure the safety of the product that I am making if it's going to attach to the product I make. I don't know what you're going to attach, what kind of bar you're going to attach something to. So I don't want to be I want to make sure what I'm giving you is going to deliver and it's going to function properly. So I think some people don't understand exactly what the landmine bar is actually accomplishing. There is no sleeve that this bar slides into your rack. And the reason for that is because if I am doing some kind of a squat and if I want that barbell sleeve up high, there is potential for that barbell sleeve to slide out of your landmine attachment sleeve. And I just found it that I didn't want that to take place. I wanted my landmine bar to go as high or as low as I wanted to without any limitation whatsoever on anything I wanted to perform. And there's other reasons for it because there's going to be several other attachments to come out for this thing. And the attachment isn't something that just attaches over the top of your barbell sleeve. It's a hexagon attachment that goes inside of your barbell sleeve that has a knurled knob that screws it into place. So it does not slip. It does not move. You're not going to have any issues with safety or functionality of that device. And it's not going to rip apart your barbell sleeve, leave marks, because over time, it's just going to keep digging holes in, digging in scratches. They're going to loosen. That doesn't happen with this device. That's really why those are done the way they are. There is no directional limitation. You can get other landmine bar sleeves with a barbell where you really don't have any limitation on rotational movements or whatever that. But also for people that perform a lot of landmine work, forward intent, stuff like that, that rotating sleeve is a game changer because you no longer have to hold on to an actual barbell sleeve. You actually now have a handle that's the same size of the barbell shaft. And that's rotating sleeve that's knurled, it rotates, not your barbell sleeve. So it moves very easily. So I think it's really hard. We're doing our best to try to demonstrate to people like what is really the difference between this bar and just using your old beat up barbell and putting it into a sleeve. There's a lot of difference and there's a lot of improvements. And we have some new attachments that will be coming. I have a prototype coming in a couple of weeks. And and it's going to be another really good attachment. Like I've had a lot of people buy that rotating to attach to their current barbell. I'm not sure what gives them the indication that we'll do that when it's a hexagon shape on the end, but and then it's
hey, look,
black,
the DIY community,
red, yeah. So
the DIY community and the home gym community is undefeated. There are people who get so much joy out of taking something and making it do something else, making it do something other than what the person who sells it to do. Like they get more joy out of doing that than they do out of actually using the product to train with. I don't resonate with that, but I understand that that's a certain mindset. And let me say this, because I don't want to discourage anybody. I don't want to yuck another band's yum. I enjoy seeing what they come up with, but I'm not coming to the crafting party. I don't want to do it myself. I'm just not. Yeah. Rory Ellis. So first of all, shout out to Rory. Rory said, couldn't agree more. He said, a licensing deal will make you pennies on a dollar. You often make even less on that than affiliates get for just having a link in your bio. If somebody clicks the affiliate link, that's the thing. That's the downside of it, because people will go out of their way not to click an affiliate link while buying a product that they only know about because they watched your video. And so that's one reason why people say, hey, you know what, the heck with it. I'd rather get a licensing deal. So no matter how you find out about the product, I get some money out of it. But it's whatever. It's a catch-22. But Rory also said, and then Rory said, he said he's talking about Dad Shredded, who was in your video. Yep. So yeah, Dad Shredded is a good dude. I've actually had him. He's actually a chiropractor by trade here. Well, I'm not in Georgia right now, but in Georgia, he lives his practice is maybe an hour and a half away from where I live. He's a good dude. When we've had him on the show, got a really cool home gym channel.
I would also answer Rory by saying he's good at what he does. He's really good, and he's easy to work with, and he works with a lot of different groups. So, and there's good reason for that. He gets to things quickly. He does them well. And he's a good partner to work with. So I honestly wish there was like 25 of them. But there probably is. It's to find people to use.
To find that combination all at the same person.
It's hard. I've been trying it for years, and I've found just a couple. But he's in my opinion that I've worked with, he's definitely one of the best.
Nice. So we have a comment here from Equipment Exercise. So I'm gonna tell you this, and actually, you know what? Hold up. This is how I need to do this. Hang on a second. So you have deniability, okay? You say you weren't on screen when I said this. So sometimes some of the comments that I see in the comments, and you guys see that I will pass over it. I'm not trying to muzzle anybody, but as a general rule, if I have somebody come on the show and you make a comment, let's say we're talking about a product of theirs, and you make a comment and says, oh yeah, so-and-so other company does this too. I look at that as disrespectful to my guest. They came on to talk about their brand and to share information, answer questions about the brand, not to give free advertising to a competitor of theirs. And so I just don't feel like, so when I see stuff like that, and I do see it whenever any of you guys post it in there, I see all the comments. As a general rule, I don't bring up those questions because I don't want to do anything that takes away attention from the brand that's on, because that's disrespectful of their time. That being said, I will ask the first part of this question. And I'm not mad at you for making the comment either. All right. Because that's in a way that actually is a compliment to me. All right. But the second part of your question, but I do want to have Jason respond to the first part of your comment question, right? So now I can bring Jason back on here. So we got a comment about whether you can make the U-joint for your landmine bar wall mountable. Does that make sense? So instead of rack mounted, making it wall mounted. Have you considered that? Or you've got the face that says,
Yeah. So we do realize, listen, that's been on the table. So for my landmine bar, for an example, what I would say is, right now for the landmine bar, we have a list of about 10 different attachments that we want to get to, and not just attachments and or improvements.
Applications.
And I wouldn't call it necessarily improvement or applications as, okay, for that person who doesn't have a rack in their gym, how are they going to use our landmine bar? So there's two things. One is finding a way for it to either mount to a real simple tube on a wall. It would be inexpensive. When I say inexpensive, it might be like less than $50 to get you something to attach it to a wall. We've also thought about, do we do something similar to like old school, like a home plate, where you can use that to attach the landmine bar. But we are also looking at finding a spot for it to attach to a port on our infinity bench. Now that's just like your idea. It's on the list. It's not definitive. It hasn't been worked on yet, but it's to say we need to evaluate it. So yes, we've absolutely thought about it, and I'm cool with you asking that question because the landmine bar and my attachments have been patented properly. I'm not worried about someone trying to. If somebody wants to make something to attach my landmine bar to the wall, have at it. Because you got to buy my bar. But that is definitely on the list. So
that's actually pretty intriguing.
Yeah, but it's nice to hear that because now it's like we talked about earlier. It's validating something.
Yeah, because there's interest.
Yeah, have a rack in their home. What are we gonna do with it? There's other things you can see out there. There's like things like low bridges. It's pretty much just a horizontal rack tubing that goes across the wall to attach things to. You know, something like that, or more individual. I have some pretty cool looking ones that I have as an idea to make it so it can slide and go all different places. We'll see what happens.
So, I mean, and this is something that it's kind of like, it reminds me of the thing with horse stall mats. So it's a horse stall mat and it costs this, but if you put it in a fitness store, it's fitness flooring and it costs this, right? So think about it, like a power rack cross member is essentially a strut that you could see from, if you go to a construction site, you see lots of power rack cross members and uprights all over the place, and you just go there and say, hey, can I have one of those? And you cut it up, take it home, and you're in business, right? And you'll probably be saving money if you just wanted to get one and attach it to your, I'm not telling y'all to do it. I know how you are, but I'm saying if somebody did, all right, and you took it home, you could probably attach it to a stud in your wall if you're just going to use it to attach stuff to. All right. And now you don't have to figure out how to get the landmine bar attached to your wall. I'm stopping there. All right. Because I don't want somebody to go make something, get hurt, and then come back to me. I did it because you told me to. No, I didn't. All right. And Rory said, so, Rory has the megalith handles. He's Roman strength. And he said, very good to know about Antonio. Dad Shredded. He says, very good to know. I see him everywhere, so maybe I have to reach out as well. Rory, if you need me, I can connect you with him. He's a good dude. Like I said, I've had him on the show. He's an awesome guy. And he said also, I relate to this whole idea thing so much. I have so many ideas for the megalith handles. I just can't get to it at the moment for XYZ reasons. But I do like that people come to me with them because I can see it's like, okay, people are interested in my product and I've got the juices flowing. So there's buzz about it. And that goes back to what you said about the whole thing with I forgot the name of the company, but like there's a disc. So you have these discords where people like to go and they'll just like do DIY projects, but they'll say, hey, I did this using this base product as the foundation for this DIY thing, right? And so I think so essentially if that starts happening with your products, that's buzz because now people are hearing the name of your company all over the place because they're using it to DIY stuff. So that'd be good. Okay. All right. I'll do it after the show, Rory. I'll connect you guys. Anyway, so let's talk about Muscle Men before we let you go, because Muscle Men is a sponsor for our live stream that's coming up at the end of November. So I want to talk about, we haven't heard much about it since you first came out with it. So what's going on with Muscle Men?
So Muscleman is, we'll call it a brother company to Exponent Edge, and it is. I've been making my own body butter and arnica butter, we'll call it, probably for 15 years here in my home, and so there's a lot of different uses. The body butter is really just more for hydration and skin recovery, stuff like that. Arnica has a lot more uses to it, and in fact, my Muscle product. So they're all supposed to help you with recovery from your workouts. Arnica is pretty well researched. It helps folks like us that are older, and not just older, but anyone who wants to recover better from workouts and stuff like that. It helps muscle recovery, reduce inflammation, and a number of other different things that the product can do. So I just started it. I wouldn't even call that I soft launched it. I wouldn't even call it that. I would just call it's out there. It's available. At some point in time, this will become a higher priority. But that's just because other things have been the effort, the time, the capital has all been going into Exponent Edge, where this is much smaller and easier to manage. But this will be something that will start to be pushed more. And I'm actually working on something else that's not just an arnica oil or body butter that is very, very intriguing. I've already tested it. I like it. I can't say anything about it yet because it's going to be a patented formulation. So I will obviously share more about that when I can. But anyone who doesn't really know, arnica is actually a natural pain reliever. And like I said, it reduces inflammation. It can alleviate soreness. It reduces swelling. And if you care about this, it actually helps with bruising. I don't really have a problem with that, but if you have a problem with bruising, it helps with that as well. But this product, they're made in USA. They are not made elsewhere. They're actually made in Florida. It's like I would call it like your workout ally. And there's other things that are also in it, which is MSM, menthol. And what those do is they support joint health, muscle health. They all contribute to reduced muscle inflammation. And it's made with primarily organic ingredients, antioxidants, and it's sulfate, paraben, and cruelty-free. So a lot of cool things about it. And there's also some detoxifying elements in each of in those products as well. So I actually have got two of them right here. It's called Jacked Up. So the first one is called Jacked Up because one, we're jacked, two, our muscles, joints, whatever, are all jacked up. This is the other thing I'm testing, but I can't go into detail, but I'm testing.
Hold on. That was fast. Hold on now. Slow down. You just showed it too fast.
I can't show you the label, but
no, that's okay.
This is what I'm testing. So the body butter is more like creamy, and the arnica oil is more jelly. It's more like a gel. So and then this other one that I'm working on is gel-like. So more to come on that, but this is like a brother brand. It's just something I've been making forever. And I found a good way and a manufacturer to make it so I can make it in much larger quantities for less than I can make it for. So, and it's really just it's made with cocoa butter, shea butter, and essential oils. Okay.
So we got a question from Rory. So Rory is in the military, and he said, are the Jacked Up and the body butter, are those safe for military use? Because they get drug tested.
Yeah, there's nothing in there from a drug perspective. If you want to look at the full entire list of ingredients, I did mention a vast majority of them already. Something I didn't mention that's in there is there's aloe in there. You can get the full list. It's on the website. It will show you every single possible ingredient on each of those packages. So I like the arnica oil. I've had shoulder issues for years and years and years, and after about 8 weeks of application, my shoulders felt unbelievable. So I didn't do anything else different. I'm actually able to train my shoulders heavy again. I've actually been able to increase my bench at 47 because my shoulders aren't.
Why you keep saying 47 like that's old? Okay.
Yeah, and John, I know you
keep saying 47. Wait, hold on. You keep on saying 47 like that's old. All right. When I was 5, you were a baby. Okay. What are you saying? I feel like I'm getting called old just by I'm catching shrapnel here.
I feel like I'm old. So okay. And so yeah, Home Gym Con. I know you'd asked that earlier. Couple things. One, we're working on some big projects. If we can absolutely get those things done, they're going to be there.
Okay.
And I honestly, if I go, which I plan on doing that, it's going to be as Exponent Edge and Muscle Men. It's going to be both.
Sweet.
And if anybody wants an idea, like Exponent Edge is more on the serious side. Muscle Men is a complete, jacked up, masculine, edgy, like on the edge, funny brand. So like when I say on the edge, we're talking like almost going over. So if you go anything on my Instagram for that channel, you will see that. So
nice.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Corey.
And Dustin, what's up, Dustin? He said Exponent Edge is great. I use the Infinity Arm at least once a week. And he says he has jacked up. And I enjoy using it going into workouts for a nice little warm up for the muscles and joints. I don't understand how he got a tub of jacked up and I don't have a
I'll send you some, dude.
Okay. I mean, I'm older than you and Dustin. What's going on here?
Dustin, the thing I'm working on is even better than what you're using now.
Oh, so, here. What's going on? We're doing sales on my show. I'm just kidding. It's cool.
When we get this, the formulation's done. When we go to the next step on this thing, I will get some in all of your hands. I think we're gonna change something in the industry. So,
I mean, I know I'm gonna get a sample of it anyway because of what's coming up. Because you're sponsoring the live stream.
Yeah, you just gotta know how much you want me to give you. So,
10.
Let's see. 10 of them?
Yeah, send me 10.
All right, 10 it is.
So I'm gonna but more importantly, I wanted people to know that this was out there because there are a lot of people, they may say, oh, well, my home gym is, they may not have an interest in the physical product for whatever reason at this time, but just about everybody uses something to get their work, as a part of the pre-workout warm-up process. And I wanted people to know that you had this available as an additional thing. Okay. So I'm gonna let you go, but this is the last question is, tell everybody how they can follow Exponent Edge and just keep up with all the stuff that you have coming up, how they can buy stuff. You tell me your newsletter, anything you got.
Yep. So we have a newsletter. You can sign up on our website. It will obviously pop up and let you know we have a newsletter. It also gets you a discount code on your first purchase. And, if you get part of the newsletter, you also get access to communication on new products coming. You get communication on specific newsletter subscriber discounts that nobody else gets. And all of that stuff, you'll see things first, and you also be often part of, we'll call it surveys or just getting some feedback and some things that we're coming up with. And that is by visiting exponentedge.com. For Muscle Men, it's getmusclemen.com. And then for social, it's at Exponent Edge. And for Muscle Men on social, not doing a lot there yet, but follow. The more people that follow, the more I'm going to do there. It's at Get Muscle Mend. You can find me there as well. And that's probably. I also have YouTube, which is just Exponent Edge. You can find me there. Those are the places where I spend most of my time.
Awesome. All right, man. Yeah. Look, dude, I appreciate you coming on not only on your birthday, but when you were a little bit under the weather. So I'm gonna let you go get you some stuff, some tea, and I'll be man. So we'll be reaching out, and communicating ahead of it. And I'm just gonna tell everybody publicly, this is a small business, and yet he was willing to help make the live stream we have coming up at the end of the month for the powerlifting competition. He was willing to step up and help make that possible. So, dude, that level of support means more to me than I can kind of like put into words in this short time. Basically, I'd be talking forever if I told you how much it meant to me. So I'm just going to say thank you for everything that you do, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate the ask. And when we can do it, we do it.
So, awesome. All right, man. Take it easy. All right. So that was my guy, Jason Benoit from Exponent Edge and Muscle Mend. Two awesome brands owned by one home gym owner. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like when he wins, I feel like we win. Okay, so let's go ahead and make sure that we support the Jason by buying from Exponent Edge. And if you're interested in something like a liniment or a product to help you with warming up for your workouts, go ahead and check out getmuscleman.com. And I get nothing for telling you guys to go do this financially. It's just I want everybody to support what I think are some cool brands. So anyway, that's it for today's show. Thank you to my guests, Mark Lupica from Brute Force Australia and Jason Benoit from Exponent Edge for stopping by and making this one a success. Next week, we got Todd Scheisel from Center. So you guys may know that Center also has, they have the Inspire brand of products. And this was an episode that was set up by my guy, Daniel Forster from Forster Fitness, who is in Brazil. And so I'm excited to learn more about what Center has to offer the home gym community. Center is not a Brazilian brand. They just are popular in Brazil. But in any case, so I'm excited to learn more about what Center and Expire have to offer for the home gym community. Kevin, earlier, I was working on getting Kevin from Home Gym Gains YouTube channel on the show next week, and he has confirmed that he will be coming on. So he's going to be coming on to talk about, Kevin's going to come on to talk about why he got kicked out of the Rep Fitness Facebook group. Okay. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what is known in the business as a tease. I'm not going to tell you any more about it. Kevin got kicked out the Rep Fitness Facebook group. You got to come back next week to find out why he got kicked out. Okay. So until next week, keep posting in the community tab section. Keep sharing our channel link to help us grow. Keep following our page on LinkedIn and keep stacking days. Peace.